I hope you're all doing well. So, welcome. Hello there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. And don't worry, our wonderful, talented, amazing, spectacular, gorgeous, intelligent, smooth, sophisticated Jocelyn is getting ready. We had a good chat last night with our members. It was a really long, good night of talking and stuff. And so we ended up staying up a bit longer than that afterwards, kept talking. So we were all a little tired. So it's good to see everybody up on here. Jocelyn she has showered. She's putting her face on, I'm guessing. So, because you see her, like, she has no face, it's just bone otherwise. So it's nice to have that. So, hey, everybody that's on here. So many people that were chatting with us last night are back, and wonderful people here. I want to say hi to the people that got on here early. Rory and Grant, thank you so much for getting on, guys. Grant, thank you so much for the super chat. Musings at Midlife, good morning from sunny Minnesota. Yes, we all could be doing other things today, but I think today it's okay to do a live feed. I know, and I'll talk about this later. So if you see down below, it says our Wine and Whiskey Wednesday live chats will keep going through May at 8 p.m. Chicago time. So this will be our last Saturday, 9 a.m. live feed for a little while. I've got to actually teach a whole new class. I have to do a 16-week class in 4 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, and I still need to finish with the textbook and finishing making the videos and all those kind of things. So I will be very, very busy for the next couple weeks. So we're taking a little break from the Saturday ones. We're going to keep doing the Wednesday night ones because seriously, our Wednesday night, the Wine and Whiskey Wednesday nights, those things are lifesavers. Like, that's like the thing we look forward to in the middle of the week. Like, we're over halfway through homeschooling. The week's halfway over. We can do that. So we're going to keep doing that one. But the Saturday ones, we're going to hold off for a bit. Now, we might do one. We might say, you know what? Let's do one anyway. So we might do it. But right now, we're going to take that. So this is going to be our swan song for a Saturday one, at least for a few weeks. I'm sure by 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, we'll be like, I kind of miss those Saturday ones. Because this is one of the best parts for us of this quarantine, has been able to meet people and talk to people and develop friendships and stuff like that. So that's why Whiskey and Wine Wednesday, they're staying. Oh, they're staying. But we won't have the Saturday ones all the time. So I just want to give you all a heads up for that. Albano, one in Sweden. Hope you're all doing well there in the afternoon. Georgian Crossroads in Tbilisi. We are going to get there, my friend. Barry, thank you very much for the super chat, and good to see you as well. Let's see. Yes, musing in midlife. Before people, I want to say thanks for doing this. I get rather down with my inability to travel right now. I do too. It's been a burning thing, and we had a long talk last night with our members and our patrons on our live feed we had for them, and I think all of us are like, let's just plan like every trip possible to keep us sane, because right now, I mean, I would say for the first few weeks of quarantine, it was kind of like, oh man, all these trips are gone. And then it was like, a black hole of not even thinking about it. And now it's like, well, we need to start planning. So we're looking at, road trips and stuff like that. And for those that follow, I actually let Jocelyn look up RV things. So we'll probably do that for a few weeks this summer. Just drive around the Midwest US, or we might, depends. One kid would like to do the Route 66. To go down to Texas and stuff like that. Other one wants to do Minnesota. So Josh's like, we'll just do a big circle. I'm like, there's only so many months in the summer. But it'll be fun. It will be fun. And so we'll figure out things like that. And since musing at midlife, yes, I'm going to have some musings here today too. So hey, everybody. Jennifer, good to see you. Ronnie. Michael Mann, my brother, good to see you, my friend. Tyler, hey, Tyler, the cool guy. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Funny story, Mechanicsburg, Illinois does not have any mechanics. My brother found that out when he was in college and his car broke down. He thought, I'll be okay. I'm by Mechanicsburg. Wrong. I guess it's kind of like that whole Iceland-Greenland thing. Like, Greenland is full of ice and Iceland's full of green. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a premiere at noon today. The 5 Love and Hates of Driving in Iceland. You will see a lot of the scary roads on that video. So that's coming up today at noon, so in about 3 hours' time. So we'll finish this, and then that will come out. So you have something else to do. If you're like, I don't want to hear Mark in this chatting at me way. I want to have him standing in the distance with just talking to a camera with beautiful B-roll, because we don't have any B-roll on here. And Johnson's not here to be fawn over, so I can understand having to look at me all the time, because now I'm looking at my computer and all I see is me. So I feel sorry for you. John Martin in Edinburgh. Good to see you, my friend. We had a great time in Edinburgh last year. I can't wait to go back. Michael Mann. My days are getting confused. Is this the chat where I eat Cheerios or drink wine? Both. It's Saturday, so you can do whatever you want, my friend. I think in general, this is more the Cheerios one than the other one. Hey, Baggy T, good to see you, my friend. I'm glad we can get you for this one with the time difference, my friend. Hello, Kathy Walters, my mama. How are you? MGH in Northern Ireland. Good to see you as well. Fierce Mice. Fierce Mice was on fire last night with some good questions and stuff. Eric Zvark, good to see you, my friend. Oh, so many good people. It's so fun seeing everybody talking to each other. Hey, Aldiel Diaz in Transylvania. For me, the prettiest part of Romania. Well worth going to. I highly recommend it. Another trip that was lost because of this summer stuff. Sahil, the pig, are you talking about in the Facebook one? Or, yes, that is San Marino. That's the thumbnail before it goes live. Then it shows us doing this. When you see it later. I probably should just do a different thumbnail for that. Instead of just us going like this. So, yep. Yeah, Mark Finley, I'm getting some deja vu. Yes, you are. There's a reason why. But shh, that'll be our secret. Tasha up in Nova Scotia, beautiful part of Canada. If you can get up there this summer, if we can travel, well worth visiting. Well worth it. Let's see. Hey, Means to Travel. Hope you and the D-Man are doing well. Gallivanting Gals, hopping back and forth from live streams. Good to see you on here. Wow, there's a lot of questions I have not gotten to yet. Sorry. I'm just saying hi. This is the beginning. We're just saying hi to people and just want to let them know that Ernest and Gouda, hope you're doing well. Same shirt. Yeah, that's right, Christian. Represent. Mark Finley, I woke up 15 minutes ago. Yeah, we all noticed that getting up later is getting easier and easier. Like, that was one thing I was glad that they said, you know what, we're not going back to school this year, because if my kids had to go back to school for like 2 weeks after a month of you know, what they're getting up to now, I'm like, dude, no teacher deserves that. Rob, we're doing well. Thank you, Rob and Q. Kara, hi guys, hope you're both well. I'm planning a trip to Budapest, Bratislava, Vienna. That is a great trip. How many days would you recommend for each city? Is 2 weeks enough? Oh, 2 weeks is plenty of time. If you have 2 weeks, I would actually throw in Prague as well. And I would say like 3 days Budapest, 2 days Bratislava, 3 days Vienna, 3 days Prague. And that'll take care of you. And then you got the travel days on the side. That's what I'd recommend. But yeah, that's a really good trip, Kara. I actually recommend that trip for a lot of people when they want to do like a Central Europe trip. It's really beautiful. Let's see.
Did you sweeten this tea?
I put in the rest of the monk fruit.
Okay.
In there.
Good morning, everyone.
So in case you were wondering, that's Jocelyn. That's why she put the J on her thing, so you can know who she is.
I'm just channeling my inner Laverne. That's all.
There you go.
Hi, everyone.
See, she's bathed and prettified and dressed. She's so fancy. Most of my clothes are clean.
Not bad for having gotten up at 8:20, right?
It was actually at 30. But
okay, well, you know what? There you go.
I wish I could look that good. I wish I could look that good if I was up for like 5 hours. I could never look that good. That's a little too hot.
That is something I have learned while traveling. Get ready, like pare down and get yourself ready as fast as you can, because there is stuff to see, and stuff to see is more important than how people see you.
Yep. And after all these years of early morning flights, you're like, must get up and go. It's like, wait, if I can sleep till 4, it's only 45 minutes to the airport, and we already know the people, we already have the things, so we can like cut it. Oh, I gotta get dressed. Boom, gone.
Yep.
Good morning, YouTube. Good to see you on here up in Michigan. Sahil, always a pleasure, my friend. Aaron Williams. Oh, yeah, it is Anzac Day. Cool. So, happy Anzac Day, Aaron.
What's
Good
that?
It's
in Australia. Gotcha.
That's right. We've got the Trip Hacks DC trivia contest today. I got to sign up for that. That's at noon.
Yes.
Let's see. More fun stuff. Oh, John Martin.
Hi, Darian.
More Edinburgh here. Good to see everybody.
Mom, Kathy, and mom-in-law.
What's up,
Rob? Hey, there he is.
Ray, you're fine.
The gals are on. I know Mark's probably already
I said hi, but I didn't say hi to Darian because Darian still has not accepted that. I don't think anybody from Florida has been drafted yet. So.
Oh, will you leave him alone? He's moving.
I know, but I'm helping him adjust. That's why you could go to Georgia and cheer for them because they have all those NFL players. But I guess now,
if I moved to Florida, I would not cheer for Florida.
Florida will be doing better now because Georgia has lost so many players, so Florida has a chance now. So there is that. Mike, what are you doing? I'm trying to. It's your team. I'm trying to cheer for.
And you're trying to say that we're gonna lose to Florida because
I'm saying
our people went to the draft.
Florida might have a chance to score a point.
Jake
A point. Somehow they get a point. I don't know how it's possible. Maybe they get a safety or something. Or there'll be a fumble out the end zone.
Stop it.
Yes, Gallivanting Gals, lots of live streams hopping today. That is true. And that's what's nice. You have so many live streams. Like Gallivanting Gals had theirs on Monday last week. And then Means of Travels had a cut. They have theirs. They have one tomorrow. They have one on Thursday. Thursday and Sunday.
Whatever.
All kinds of good stuff.
Thursday, same day to me. It's quarantine
time. True. It all blurs together. I was trying to put together a schedule for this class I'm teaching. And I'm like, what is today? When do we start? Wait, how many days do I have to teach this? Honestly, it was like, that was the hardest part. Like, writing 500 slides, that's nothing. Figuring out the days, that was impossible. So, Mike, some of my favorite movies, I'm a big Christmas Story guy. I'll watch that all the time.
Trust me, all the time.
Hey, I don't make you watch it anymore all the
time. Tyler Cool Guy says, have you considered traveling somewhere to be part of a game show? I would love to be on The Price is Right. I think that would be
I would be over the top, like, I would totally make a fool of myself on purpose, like you should. Like, that's what the whole show's for. That would be fun. Hey, Clay, down in New Zealand.
Hey, Sahil. Nice to see you.
Oh, Journey with Eric and Julia. Good to see you guys from Texas. Good to get you got there. Oh, deal. Traveling again this year? You think it's going to be possible? I think what you're going to see is different places will open up in different waves. You'll see probably like statewide tourism or countrywide tourism if it's a country, or like county region-wise tourism opening up, and then state, and then between states or between like border countries opening up, and then farther afield. It's not like one day and boom, it all opens up. That it's not going to be that way. I know some states in the U.S. are opening up again in May for like some things. Our state's closed through May, but they're opening up the state parks. So what you're going to see, I think, is you're going to be able to do domestic travel. Wherever your domestic is, that will probably open up so you can do that. So plan for like your domestic trips this year. I think international, some things might open up, maybe in the fall, hopefully. And some places are already open. I think it'll just depend how things go and the second wave and stuff like this.
And I think it's going to be different for every, place, like whether it be state or region or whatever. I think that, some places have more cases than others and some have handled it differently. And, so I think that that's going to be a different thing.
So Andrew writes,
yes.
Mark, what will need to occur in order for you to feel safe for travel in Europe with a family? When she feels safe, I'll feel safe. Honestly, right now, I don't want anybody traveling, but I'm not adverse to like planning trips for Europe. I know our ones for next month in May and June have been canceled. We have another one in August, and the August one, I would feel probably comfortable going, depending on how things have progressed by then. But it just depends what's open. So sometimes it's not how you feel; it's what the government says, and if there's flights still and things like that. So
yep. So we're kind of talking about doing like a road trip through the U.S. And Mark, the day before yesterday, said okay to an RV. Do you all hear the angels singing? I mean, that was me, and I sound like the antithesis of an angel, but
you're my angel, sweetie.
I love you. So, good morning, Liam.
Hi, Liam, and your undies. What's up?
Why don't you go put some clothes on and brush your teeth, and I'll make you some breakfast while you do that.
And then you can have this after you eat and get ready.
Do you want pancakes?
Okay, don't get ready then.
That's fine.
That's fine. No. Get ready. If you want the if you want the phone, you need to put they call it clothes.
I know.
You know.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna answer questions.
You answer questions, and I'll.
Clay, none of us have been to New Zealand yet. We will get there. It's definitely we're hoping for the end of this year, beginning of next year, possibly somewhere in there. I mean, again, we don't really know. All right.
Hey, Gui, hope you're doing well,
Good
buddy.
morning, Babs.
Gavin, guys, the August trip is to go see where my family came from in Germany and France. We rode from Frankfurt to Heidelberg by Stuttgart. Colmar, what?
Nothing.
Why are you hitting me?
I wasn't. I didn't mean to.
Oh, Strasbourg, Colmar, Paris. So we're seeing a lot of places where my family's from.
So James Townsend says, when we open up, the first place I'm going is the nail salon for a pedicure. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, where's that file? I gotta fix my feet. It's terrible. Gui says, do you believe the government should make a big announcement of when foreign travelers would be fine to go back to the U.S., or would this go smoothly happening over time? I think it's going to happen over time. I think the federal government may release it, but I have this feeling that our states may handle it differently, each one individually. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, David Conde makes a good point. Whenever your state reopens, I imagine it's going to be difficult to wear a mask while eating or drinking out at restaurants. Yeah, that does kind of crack me up with those kind of things.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Tyler Cool Guy says, hi, Liam. Trying to take the phone. Dude, just all you got to do is put on...
Come on, Liam.
You do that. Here, I'll even leave it right here for you. So you can do that. Liam has now wrapped himself up in a blanket so he can't get taken.
Okay, burrito.
Should take a whole bowl.
Enchilada.
Or a whole... It's funny. So in today's video, the loves and hates of driving in Iceland, the end 20-second part, I was going through and I found this fantastic little snippet of Caleb talking about something. So I highly suggest you at least watch to the end when it goes, because I usually go, and here's what you should watch next time. That, and then at the very end, I put it on. So it's kind of a funny one. So definitely check that out. Excuse me.
Sarah says, excited to start traveling again, but also having more anxiety as to how different travel will be once things open again. Any advice? No advice for how it's going to be different, because none of us know that. Yeah. But advice for anxiety is to give yourself ample time. So if don't plan too much when you do go back to traveling, what you would normally have done, take out 1 or 2 days. When I have anxiety, that's the one thing that calms me, is just being able to step away and have my quiet time. So, and
also with not sure how it's going to happen, I would say have much more time, because with social distancing and stuff, Liam, don't do it. Go get dressed.
Do you want to lose it for the entire day?
He stole my phone and is having a hissy fit. Anyway,
do you want to lose it for the whole day?
No.
Well, then put it down.
Still put a shirt on. Because no one wants to see you all.
Stop.
Oh, snap.
Let's go. It doesn't matter. You need to be dressed every day. It's good
That's
for you.
right.
Come on, let's go.
Note for every child. And I see Eileen has the same issue. I feel like my entire life is telling my 3 boys to put up more on than undies. Yep. Funny story. When I lived in Brazil, but I won't go there. That was kind of funny. Anyway, favorite place to visit in the South, Nick? That would be Savannah. Savannah and New Orleans are my 2 favorite ones for sure. Let's see. Jack, which just went down. 2024. Let's see. Okay. Morning. Hey, MGH97. Morning again. What cities and islands do you recommend when visiting Greece for the first time, and how long? So let's say you got like a 10-day kind of thing. I do like 2 days in Athens, because Athens doesn't really... There's more to see than Athens. Like, some places you can see the capital city. Like, going to Prague really gives you a lot, and you're like, okay, I can get a lot. Athens, I would get out, go to Nafplio and the Peloponnese down there, and do like the Delphi or Delphi and see that. Maybe Montevassia, things like that. Montevassia for that. Also, looking at the islands, what you have to realize is like Santorini is the one that everyone wants to go to, because that's the picture that you always see with the white buildings and that kind of thing. It is so overrun with tourists during the summer that sometimes it's almost not worth it. Like, that's why we go to Crete a lot. Rhodes is nice. I'd probably do those for like a trip down there. And you could actually kind of break it up. So you have like 2 days in in Athens and like 3 days in the Peloponnese. I know this. You need more time, but we're looking at like a 10-day window, a 12-day window, and then split the other half between a couple islands like Crete and Rhodes or Crete and Santorini to do that.
All right. Mark and Jocelyn, I admit I haven't looked at your website recently and looked last night. If I'm not mistaken, you have updated it a lot. Looks awesome. Thank you. We have worked on it. It had been up and going and looking really good for a while, and then we had a big boo-boo.
The whole thing crashed
in a big way.
And we're still trying to work so it gets found again, because we actually had pretty decent search results years ago, and then the site, we kind of let it go, and then the site crashed, and then so completely, it's like, because in rankings you go like negative, it goes down, but then it's like, oh no, it's even worse. It's like, oh, you're like a horrible site, and then we've just been working on it to build it back up.
Stop, Brigadier. It is too early for all of this. Liam, thank you.
Oh my goodness. You look fantastic,
you look
dude.
Really nice. That shirt and this pants look really good together too. Kiss your mom.
Look of death.
I love you to roll. Thank you.
You think we made him brush his teeth.
I would never do it.
Okay, we love you anyway, buddy. Okay, Mr. Blonde had pineapple pizza for the first time last night. It was actually really good. Also, pineapple pepperoni pizza was awesome.
That sounds great to me.
My cousins came to visit us, and they had one of those, and they're like, just try it. I'm like, you know what? After the BLT pizza, I will, and it was not bad. I would not be my first choice, but it was not bad.
I feel like all foods you should try one time, and actually I feel like you should try them later again, because your tastes change as you age. Like
Brig used to eat everything, and now he wouldn't.
Very picky.
I know he wouldn't eat that cucumber last night, would he? No. And now he's like, no, unless it's a whole steak on the floor, I will not eat it. He's so spoiled. Like our old dog, we didn't need a vacuum. Our old dog, Quantum, he would get every like in the Grinch, too small for a mouse. No, he'd get that. This guy, like, piece of steak falls on the floor like this. He's like, I don't see it. Not worth my time. Spoiled brat dog. Please shut your complaint.
Okay, so how come you guys have still got patience with your kid? It's a month into a lockdown. I mean, there are moments when we don't.
It's a month and a half into lockdown, so like it's
we've
just
passed
blurred.
that part.
So we've gone past that peak. Now we're like down again.
I feel like there are moments when we've all had it with each other, but and I'm actually kind of cranky this morning because I didn't fall asleep until 2:00. I was exhausted last night, and then I went to bed. And my brain just wouldn't stop. I'm like, please, I'm so tired. I took melatonin at like 1:30.
And you're like, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm like, all right. So James Townsend makes a good point. Liam or someone sounds drunk in the winery.
Yeah, that's about the truth of it.
Miss Ellie Jelly Belly, great job with the Ottawa video. I've lived here since childhood and now studied law here. I even made beaver tails in high school. Awesome. And you live by the canal? Oh, that's so awesome. I recommend supporting the historic neighborhoods next. Thank you so much. So I still have the 5 Love and Hates of Ottawa because I found that one too. So I will try to make you proud on that video as well. Though it will have the old cruddy B-roll. So no cool updated pictures.
We've not been to Corfu, or I haven't. You haven't, have you? Savannah, Georgia is lovely. It's my favorite city ever. It's just, I absolutely love it. I'd like to go to Patmos. I haven't been there either. So,
hey, David in Ireland. I miss Guinness as well, my friend. I miss going to the pub and having it because that's one of the things. You realize there's actually like Guinness is something you need to have from the tap. Yeah, you can get the bottles and canned stuff, but it's not the same. And there's all these microbreweries and craft breweries that were only doing like tap beer. And if they didn't do cans, now they have no business. So I wonder how many of those places are going to go out of business because they haven't had the clientele forever.
Jimmy, yeah, it's gray. Actually, we have UK weather right now. Like we have typical.
You could film the next James Bond right outside right now. Actually, yesterday I was filming my business videos in a misty cloud of fog from like 8:00 until 10:00. It was just.
Yeah. Barry Hamilton, thank you for the super chat. Hi, have you ever done a cycling holiday? Not really. So
cycling classes.
Yeah, and I hate the classes, but I'll ride my bike.
Yeah. I have not. I know we have friends who've done it, really enjoyed in Belgium and France,
We have
Spain. Then Dave goes all over the place in Baltreuse.
and Lori's brother-in-law literally has cycled the entire continent of North America, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really an exaggeration. I really wanted to do one through the Netherlands and was going to do that with my sister and girlfriends, but we didn't do a full thing simply because it was kind of expensive and it was like insane amounts of riding, and I think I was up for it, but I don't know that my traveling companions necessarily were ready for that much cycling. I also got sick, like I was so sick. I had like bronchitis or something, and it was so bad that when my sister and my friend left and they went to dinner and they came back and there was an ambulance like on our street and they started running because they thought it was me because they thought I had to go to the hospital. It was that bad. But anyway, we did do some cycling through like around the Keukenhof and things in that area, and there's nothing like it. I would absolutely recommend doing it. So yeah.
Tyler, Cool Guy 88. Good to see you, Ty. Always a pleasure. How will summer travel be different this year compared to other years? It's going to be you're not going to have the early summer vacations. You're going to have a lot of people. I think you're going to have, since people are so bottled up, it's going to be domestic travel. It's not going to be international. It's going to be domestic travel, and everybody's going to be traveling. So it's going to be like the entire summer's worth of travel will be in a half amount of the time, and people will be extra excited about it. But you will not have people from outside the region or country doing it. So it'll be different that way. So that's one thing to think about. The man with the plan. Hey, one of our number one commenter on Professor Walters. Hey, what do you think will happen to countries whose economies are dependent on tourism? I think right now they are hurting just like we all are, but they're going to hurt even more because their hurt's going to last longer. Because if you have factories and service industries and stuff like that, you can get back to work and get things going. But tourism, it's not like it's going to, they can say tomorrow you can travel again. It doesn't mean people are going to travel again. So it's going to be a multi-year system where you're going to have less people traveling because, one, people are not going to be able to afford to travel because so many people have lost their jobs, not just in the U.S., but around the world. And if you haven't lost your job, maybe you had to take a pay cut or you've been furloughed and stuff like that. So you take a 20% pay cut, there's your vacation. And some gone. So I think you're going to see a lot less people traveling. So the ramification for that are going to be a while. Also, I think you're going to see that a lot of the restaurants, a lot of the tour guides especially, they're going to go out of business. You're going to see people having to make choices. Maybe I don't work in the tourism industry anymore, or I wait to come back to that and they start doing, the gig economy where you have a lot of different jobs out there. So it's going to be a really tough time for the tourism industry. I think for at least a couple of years. So, ham or prosciutto?
Ham or prosciutto? I'm gonna give you a third one and say dry coppa. That's my favorite.
But man, you get some.
Yeah, I would probably take that over prosciutto. And simply because prosciutto, I don't know. Maybe it's because I eat it in the States so much, and it's not as good as it is in Italy. So maybe that's it. Okay.
So, Innovate Drew, good to see you. What is your most awkward or funny hotel Airbnb story? Right before the lockdown, I checked into an Airbnb in Paris, and the cleaners were in my room folding sheets at the end of my bed. I hope you were not in the bed at the time. Excuse me. But, we've had some interesting ones over the years. There was one we went to, and at about 2 o'clock in the morning, we hear this metal scraping along the hallway outside. And I'm like, what the hell?
And then there's banging.
Yeah, and the banging, all this kind of stuff. What? And eventually I'm like, what the hell is going on? I go outside, and this Airbnb, it was one of those apartment hotels.
It wasn't an Airbnb. It was pre-Airbnb.
Yeah, it was the Venetian one or whatever. Anyway, it was in Sorrento, which is obviously they know tourists are coming through, so they don't care. All the beds were like tacos. This one, I'm like, what the hell's going on? The guy's like, dude, my daughter who's 10 was sleeping in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and the bed collapsed on her. So it's a metal, in the army, metal bed, and all the springs collapsed through. And he's dragging it out to throw it out the window. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, I was like, oh, and that place was a dump. Like that was the first time I really wrote a review and was like, do not stay at this place. It is horrible. They do not do anything. Do not care.
We showered, and more shower was out of the shower than was in the shower because the thing was so glumped up. It was so dirty.
It was nasty.
There was toothpaste from the last people that stayed there on the sink. I mean, that makes me want to puke. Like, so, me, I have to go down to the corner shop and get some Lysol and start cleaning because ew, gross.
Yeah. That whole agency, we were like, don't go. So, Jack Pressey, what's the best state in the U.S. to enjoy KFC? Because I was going to say Jamaica is the best place to have KFC in the world. I would say if you're in the South, go to Bojangles, or if you're around the U.S., go to Popeyes. They got better fried chicken.
So going to St. Louis next week, Tuesday to Sunday, to see a friend. What can y'all do in the city during shutdown? What's open? I have no idea.
I don't think anything's open.
I was actually just online Thursday night on a Zoom thing with my girlfriends, and two of them are in St. Louis or the area, and they're staying home. They're not doing anything, so I don't know. St. Louis actually has some cool stuff, but
zoo's great there.
Anyway, the zoo is wonderful.
The aquarium,
the science center. Oh, and the Magic House. Love the Magic House, and also Ted Drew's if you can get there. Oh, that's upstairs. I heard church bells, and I was like, oh, I'm in Europe. That's the thing I think I miss most about living in Europe and also just not traveling at the moment. I should be hearing church bells, like regularly. One of the best times I've ever had with church bells, it's always at Easter. I mean, they're just ringing constantly. But that one time we were in Paris.
Church bells ruin every one of my videos I filmed. So that's
it was during the Angelus. Or whichever. I think the Angelus is just at noon, and then the other one's later in the day.
Go on.
Whatever.
Focus on your story. So,
that's all.
Oh, there's just lots of bells.
They're just bells.
Yeah. No, bells always ring whenever I try to film, especially in Denmark. It was pretty funny. But then my mom and my dad, we stayed in Milan the first time I was there with them. Where we stayed, there was a church across the way, and the bell was like, we looked out the window of our hotel, and there's the bell. And so every hour, you're like, you could feel it in the hotel. It was pretty funny.
All right.
Steve Williams, thank you very much for the super chat, man. That's really nice of you. I'll scroll through to see if you have a question up there so I can answer it. Jimmy Two Toes, thank you very much for the chat as well. That's a great name. Hi, my wife and I have been big fans since 2014. We are Canadians considering a trip to New Orleans after COVID, and we were wondering about how safe it is relative to other American cities. So New Orleans, I'm not going to lie to you, there are some issues there. But as a traveler, I go every year to New Orleans now with friends, family, all kinds of stuff. I highly recommend it. The thing is, the drunks in the French Quarter can be a bit much at night, so especially on the weekend. So have a heads up for that. But otherwise, like you can do Uber everywhere. You can take the trolley to go to the Garden District and other places. You can do that. You can stay totally fine. I've never really had any issues except late night is the only time I've had issues. So if you're going to stay, I wouldn't stay like right on Bourbon Street. I'd stay a little bit off of that. Block or two off, and you'll be okay. And there's so many hotel options. Airbnbs there are like stupid expensive because they know people go there to party, so they overcharge to cover their costs. So that's one place I think it's actually better to get a hotel if you do go. One thing I would say is if you're driving down, just have them like find a car place and leave your car there because the valet for the hotel is really expensive. But they can tell you like, hey, we can, if you want, we can valet it for $24 a day. But if you go to that garage over there, you can self-park and it's $12. So it depends how long you're going to be there for, because you don't really need to drive, and the pain in the butt to like park and stuff. It's easier to do Ubers and do those kind of things. Okay, I'll scroll back up.
There's been a lot of bouncing.
I know we've missed a lot of people's things. Patrick Kirk, good to see you up on there. Thanks for your incredible content. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed our videos. I think being able to travel again. I think you're being ambitious if you're thinking international in August. If you're looking domestic, I think if you're doing domestic travel, I think August is a relatively possible kind of thing.
Eric Smart says, when we travel with a larger group, we always go to an Italian restaurant first because everybody will find something that they like. Anyone else who does something like this. We don't do that, but that's a really great idea. If there's something that everyone is good with, we tend to go for like Part of
Well,
it is
we-
that we
don't
go
usually
so
in a
much.
group.
Huh?
We usually don't go in a big group though.
We don't usually go in a group.
But I mean, when I go in a group with my students,
We take them to
local places. Because I know from like my students, when I take them, a lot of them, like, honestly, we get in the morning. I'm like, look, we've got a big meal tonight. We're going to have all kinds of local food. So grab some food during the day. We're going to have anything you want to eat. We're going to do it. And I would say like 30% of them go to Burger King or McDonald's for their first meal. And I'm like, oh. So that's why I make sure, like, they used to get one local meal when we were traveling with us. So we do that. Ooh. Flo says, if you would like to visit the Harz Mountains in Germany again, you should do it on the 30th of April because there is Walpurgis Night. It's an event witches and devils which are dancing around a fire. That's cool because if you ever go to the Harz Mountains in Germany, this is a gorgeous part that not a lot of international tourists go to because there's not necessarily a fast train that goes through there. It's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Berlin. 2 hours from Berlin.
It's my favorite. I love the Harz
It is
Mountains.
gorgeous there. Great at Christmas time too. But they have their whole thing is all the witches everywhere, so that's really kind of a cool thing.
Vinica Oda seemed to be the one that had the most witchy things to me.
Yeah. So there's a huge group of people whose comments disappeared off of our thing. So we're just kind of going back from where we had it because remember when it pops away. So sorry.
What's your thought on traveling with your within your home country to improve the local economy before branching out to international travel? Do it. I think all travel is going to help somebody. And as long as I'm helping individual people, I don't care if it's in my country or another country. I think that, as long as I'm helping individuals, that's the big thing for me. Speaking of helping individuals, down in the corner right here, we've got some like clothes circling by. And I don't know if you've talked about this yet. Mark and I started an initiative called Pause for the World, and Pause for the World is an online store. And if you are someone who is struggling because of this economic downturn, if you are a hairdresser, a dog walker, whatever,
artist, bartender,
creator, musician,
whatever.
church, whatever you are, you can go to pausefortheworld.com and sign up. It's a really simple process, and you'll get a referral code. And you give that referral code or link to anyone and everyone, and every item that is sold from your referral link, you get $10.
Yeah, or your organization gets $10, and it's not per order; it's per item. So if someone buys 2 T-shirts,
you get
your organization gets $20.
And so Mark and I have designated other sales that come without that. It's going to go to help our local Meals on Wheels. So either way, the shirts are great. Just wanted to give you that.
Yeah. Common Monter, thank you very much for the super chat. I just want to say good morning. I may have a question after coffee. Well, we will get to it if it doesn't get jumped around.
After we will
definitely. We were all kind of like a functioning adults again. Let's see.
Oh.
George and Crossroads, hey Mark, I'm thinking of trying to go to Prague soon after it opens up. Do you think that's a good plan? If it opens up to international travelers, I mean, you're pretty much wherever you can go. So there is that. Let's see.
I see a lot of pictures of Santorini, Greece, and wonder, is there enough to do there, or should it just be a stopover?
Which one? I didn't hear.
Should Santorini be a stopover, or is it? I kind of have to agree with you. Like a couple days,
yeah,
maybe. I don't think you have to spend tons of time
unless you're an Instagrammer and you need to get all of those pictures for the entire year worth of Instagram.
Frost Element says, hello. There was an article in the paper talking about how, due to current state of the world, people are buying a lot less makeup and a lot less deodorant.
Yeah, it's interesting how you see how purchasing has changed. Like we went out.
I put my face on every day.
Yeah, we went out. Well, yeah, I do too. And I do put on deodorant every day, so I'll at least
it might be like like not full.
But I'm not going to the gym, so I don't have to use deodorant twice. So I'm cutting it in half.
Well, there's that.
I think that's what's interesting is you're gonna like, because they said the first wave of panic buying and shock buying was toilet paper, and now it's hair dye. Because now the roots are coming through, and you're starting to see like it's different things you kind of go through. Like we've kind of gone through all those things. Now, what's the next thing I need? It's kind of like now, if you think about it, how many of you have already cleaned some of your house? Nick, first thing is, okay, we got to clean out the basement. We got to clean out the garage. Okay, now we'll do the closets. Now you're like, we need to clean underneath the basement couch the kids play in. Yeah.
And we haven't done that since like the first 10 days of quarantine.
Yeah, but we're going to try.
But we work a lot. Like, I think our workload is like doubled.
Yes.
Since this happened, so we're a little bit different than like everybody else, I feel like. Do you have any tips? Nisha says, I've watched all your France videos and your videos helped me a lot for Iceland. Do you have any tips for visiting Alsace? I'm learning French in quarantine.
Yes. Use Colmar. Oh, Strasbourg and Colmar around there is fantastic. Nancy is gorgeous. Nancy, old King of Poland, married daughter off to King of France. Then he lost being King of Poland. He moved there, made Nancy fantastic. Definitely, there's so many great places there, but it will definitely feel like a Germanic version of France, like a fairy tale Germany and France had a baby, and that's Alsace. The Alsace-Lorraine region, and so you'll have a good time when you're there. Let's see.
James Townsend says, for domestic travel, I would make 2 lists. One of cities to which I've been, the other of those I've never visited, although I will soon ask, what's a vacation?
Yeah, our kids will say we don't take vacations, we go on trips.
We take trips, we don't take vacations. Yeah, we've been, talking about domestic stuff and the RV, and I was giving the boys some options, and, as with everything, one chose one and one chose the other. And I'm like, well, let's just do them both. Because, we've all got a lot of time on our hands, right? So, all right.
Yeah, there's some, I'm reading through some of these awkward Airbnb stories. There are some pretty crazy ones there. Dang. Owner's brother got hit by a car. Oh, not good. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Excuse me, we're getting closer to catching up.
I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Fortune Cuppy, it is okay for being late. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all of you being here, because I know it's been, I know we're on 45 days. I don't know how many days we've been doing this now.
James Townsend said, Jocelyn, I listened to the podcast you did on Airbnbs with Rob from Trip Hacks DC. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you listened to it. Actually, Rob and I were going back and forth the other day about an article that interviewed the CEO, the founder of Airbnb, and like what that's going to look like. And it's kind of crazy, like all of the things that we know to be true are a little bit up in the air right now. So, yeah.
Oh, there was one on here.
I'm going to go make some more tea. Do you want some?
Sure.
Same kind?
Whatever. That blueberry is a little bit too blueberry.
It's a little too sweet for me.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Nick Peterson makes a good point. When I travel, I go with this rule of thumb. I eat at places I cannot get back home. I'm not going to travel just to eat at McDonald's. True, that we do the same thing, but we do know with our kids, they're going to eventually need like some fast foody kind of stuff. And what we will do, it's funny because like France, we always go to Quick, which is like the French version of McDonald's. We'll go there once. So the kids get to have that. And they actually have really good toys there because we get like Scrabble or Uno or what else do we have? Blockus and stuff like that. And so we'll let the boys have that. So they have that one for a lunch, and then we're mostly just eating the local food. But when I travel with my dad, sometimes he's like, my dad's a rock star, man. That guy, he's traveled the world, never complained. He used to go to Korea for weeks at a time and stuff like, never complain about the food, never say anything. But now when he travels, he won't complain for the first week. But I know my mom and I know that about day 7, we need to go to an Irish pub so we can have a burger, or we can have a steak, or we can have something like that. If it's a country that doesn't have food that he's kind of used to. And so we'll do that. And it's like, hey, and everyone's happy. I mean, is anybody upset going to an Irish pub? There's a reason why there's Irish pubs in every country in the world. Because everyone likes a drink and a good eat, right? And so there's one of those things you gotta look at. Oh, wait, I just jumped around again. Oh, Eddie Tufeld, thank you very much for the super chat. Hopefully going to west coast of Ireland in September. Why is sticky toffee pudding not a thing here in the U.S.? I don't know. And I think my mom would agree with you on that one, Eddie, because sticky toffee pudding. My mom and I, we were in Scotland last year, had sticky toffee pudding every dinner and half of the lunches because it is so good. There's actually So there's a restaurant a friend of ours, his daughter owns. It's about a 30-minute drive from here, and they have sticky toffee pudding. So we used to go like once a week. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna have dessert for my main meal, and it was so good. But you're right, it's so hard to find it, and it's so good. So if you ever get a chance, you're in Scotland or the UK, definitely get some sticky toffee pudding. Jalaram, I'm glad you like our videos, man. Thank you very much. Let's see. Oh, Babs got motivated to clean out 4 file cabinet drawers of teach materials. I'm getting ready to retire. Nice. Yeah, Kathy Walters was saying, oh, the Stuttgart thing, because we were going to be passing through there this summer. Oh, yeah. Joshua Patricio. Hi, Walters. Your videos from Amsterdam have inspired me to go there, and I have everything booked already for July, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go to make it. Greetings from Spain. Yeah, I don't know, because Joshua, I know, is Spain... does your lockdown finish in May? And we'll see. We'll see, because there'll be a better chance that you will be able to go to Amsterdam from Spain than it will be for us to come from the U.S. I know that much. So we can always keep our fingers crossed and just wait to see how things go, because none of us really know. Bonocos, do you plan to visit North Sentinel Island near India? Isn't that where the people were like shooting arrows at people? I had to think about that one. Let's see. Glass of wine is always a good thing to have. Yeah, illegal to visit North Sentinel Island for good reason. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's one where you're not supposed to go to, and some people will try to go, and they have some really big issues. So, let's see. It's illegal because there's a tribe there that doesn't have any contact with the outside world, and they don't want it, and so it's kind of like you leave them alone, because there's been some missionaries that have gone there, and I believe a couple of them have not made it out because it's not allowed to do that. So... Oh, cool. TripHacks DC. Rob put up the article that Joss was talking about Airbnb, if you want to check that out. So, Walter White, have you been on Megabus in the U.S.? I have not. I know some people that do like it, but I have not been on Megabus. And the thing is, there used to be Eurorail or Euro Trails or something like that in Europe. I can't remember what it was called. The bus line in Europe. Now there's a new one. I think it's like Megabus in Europe, which is really good. People really swear by it. Let's see. Savory pie and mushy peas, hopefully England in October. Caddis, I hope so too, because I would like to be on our trip there this fall as well. Peter, thank you for the invitation to Serbia. That was another places that got nixed because of COVID. So we will be putting it back into our travel plans. And we'll go back into the kitty of places we need to go. There is a pin on the map upstairs that we want to go there. So that is on our near-term visiting kind of place. Alexander, good to see you, buddy. David, hope you're doing well. Oh, got another huge jump. Daniel Fields, hello. So for those of you that were like, wait, you're passing my question up. We're not skipping you on purpose. Our feed here doesn't go like yours. It just jumps around. Anyone that does the live feeds knows what I'm talking about. When they get a ton of them, and then they like block, and then it stops, and then it jumps and stuff. So just know that.
Mark Finley.
What?
Nothing.
I can't imagine the Walters on a megabus in any situation. We've taken buses sometimes, but...
Mail care. My 7-year-old is afraid to leave our apartment in New York City. He used to love going out and has visited 11 countries with excitement and joy. 180 degrees the opposite. Suggestions to easing his anxiety. Turn off the TV.
Don't discuss any of this stuff with them. And
unless it's good news.
Yeah. And even like with you, or you're talking to your friends on the phone, because the kids hear all that. They may be playing Nintendo, but they hear it and they take it in. And if you're showing that you're scared, that's going to make them more scared. So I mean, we don't know how things are going with you, because I know New York City, it's a lot. It's not like here. It's a whole other ball game with the number of people that passed away and people that are infected and stuff like that. I think you got to take it slowly with them. I mean, we're not child psychologists, but I know like for our kids, what we would do is like we would start with some positives, point out nice things, show them things like. That's one thing was Jocelyn's been putting together. We have our list of movies to watch to inspire you for travel. One of the lists is on movies for kids. Like, get them, have some of those movies on, whether it is Ratatouille, Get Ready for France, or...
And he's 7, so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go
ahead. What's New Scooby-Doo is a particularly good one because they literally go all over the place.
Yeah, Lee's watching that like crazy.
It's like in different countries all
Netflix
the time.
Too, right?
I think it's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
It's one of the newer versions of Scooby-Doo.
So giving him, just stuff from international things might help a little bit. But the other thing is, when he does bring it up, remind him that you guys just happen to be in a really bad place. Whereas our kids are like, well, it's no big deal. Our county doesn't even have 20 cases right now. I mean,
currently they've had
up to
they've had like 99 cases
in
over
6
in the 6
weeks.
weeks.
So I mean, that's your worldview is shaped by where you are very often, and so if you can maybe think that maybe that would help.
So Joshua Casper, what's the nicest beach you have been to in the whole world? So there's nicest beach, but there's also nicest beach experience. The nicest beach is just to be on. Like Turks and Caicos has great beaches, but it's so expensive that it takes away from the beauty, and there's not a lot of things. Like there's not like a lot of the beach bars right on there to enjoy if you want to do those things.
Unless you're in the resort.
That's why I kind of liked Jamaican beaches. But then you have the touts that are always asking you to buy stuff, so that can take away from it. That's why I kind of liked just north of San Juan del Sur in Nicaragua. Gorgeous beaches, and there's nobody there.
That would be.
But the thing is, like, you can go to some of these beaches, and there'll be one kind of outdoor bar, and a dude like running surfboards. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah, I think that I would go with Nicaragua for all the things put together, right? All right.
Oh, the Fozzie Bear. My trip to Portugal is canceled. I want to try francesinha in Porto. What are your favorite foods in Portugal? Oh, francesinha is so good. Just look up francesinha in Portugal. You'll see it. It's hard to explain.
Mark's favorite is probably bacalhau or
brawn. I hate bacalhau.
Porco preto.
Porco preto. God, even my wife.
No,
exactly. It's all a lie. This is all a farce. We're actually in a sound stage. All those people that said they're filming that on a green screen, they were totally right. This is all. We actually live on the moon, and that's how things are.
We don't really know each other.
No. Porco preto, which is black pork, Iberian black pork. That's really good. The fish dorado and robalo are the two main fishes you're going to have when you're there. But sardinias you're only going to eat in June and July, like that. Otherwise, don't get them. You got to gut them yourself and stuff like that. So that sometimes turns some people off from it. There's other things that you never see, like assorda, which is kind of like a seafood stuffing. Is really good.
I don't like it.
She doesn't like it, but I do. So there's that.
That's for Babs.
Babs, the link takes me to the store, but I do not see those shirts. So what you want to do is, in the link, if you're on your phone, click the little drop-down menu and click on like fun shirts or sweat time or something like that, and they'll pop up that way. Because the only ones that show up on the main page are the normal ones. But these fun ones here, you gotta show here. Give me your phone.
I think it's over there. I left it over there.
Anyway, so I'll do a little walkthrough with you to show you on your phone. Okay, Sarah, taboos for tattoos. Japan, usually not where you want to have them. Oh yes, we do love Indian food. It's so good. Let's see. So journey with Eric and Julie. We didn't take our kids to Italy because I was concerned because they're so young, 5 and 8 at the time. Is there a place you visit that you had safety concerns taking kids? No.
Eric and Julia. We took Liam to Italy when he was
8 weeks old.
He was 7 weeks old. He was 6 weeks old when we went to Spain. 7 weeks old when we went to Italy. 8 weeks in Greece. So we don't have that. We don't have that fear thing. As a matter of fact, we do have. I have a safety video for kids. It's old, and I wasn't very good at the videoing, and we need to redo that. Don't make. You're
wonderful. My contacts are bothering me.
Oh, are you kidding me? Did you see that just came up?
What? We all have to grade everything?
I don't know. It was about grading for math, and wow.
I'm not really happy with Caleb's teachers right now.
We'll just have a drink and tea, and we'll be better.
Anyway, okay. So here, if you're going to be on Pause the World on your phone, so what you're going to need to do, because when you look at it, you'll scroll down, and then those t-shirts will show up there. But if you want to get the fun t-shirts, so what you're going to do is you're going to come here, click on that, and you'll get your thing. And so you have Pause Wear, the sweatshop just for fun. So I'm going to click on just for fun.
And Pauseware has everything.
Yeah, Pauseware has everything, but then you can look at all the And so you can, if you want to get that one, and then you can kind of select which one you want, go through.
The just for fun ones are like the silly quarantine sort of.
Yeah, you're
types.
on mute, stuff like that. So there's that one. So I hope that helps. It's easy to order, easy to get. Appreciate it.
Sean C says, my trip to Paris just got canceled. I'm sorry. We know what that feels like. What's your favorite thing to do in Paris? So other than like museums and like the typical stuff, I just love to wander. I will get up in the morning. We will, one of us, or maybe sometimes all of us if the kids wake up, we will go get croissants and cheese and whatever. And we will eat in a park. We tend to just really soak up the space and the atmosphere and everything. We've taken painting classes. We've taken cooking classes. I don't think there's anything that I don't love going to the Eiffel Tower anymore, except that we go around the Eiffel Tower and there's this one place where there's a little park. Actually, Eric and Julia, this would be perfect for your kids.
Yeah.
There's a little park and there's never anyone there. It's like the most people I've ever seen were all local, and it was like 12 people. That's adults and kids included. So we would go in there, and we play, and the kids eat their snacks and whatever, and there's a little kiosk right there. So that's my favorite thing to do, and also the eating, because it's France. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, there's like hundreds of comments.
I
got that one already. Okay. So sorry, people. We've been.
Hang on, I think that said Colette Rockers. No, Colette Bowers. Hello. I'm glad that you appreciate our Pause for the World.
Pause for the World.
Pause for the World. So, and you guys feel free to share Pause for the World with people that you know that need it. I'd love to see it go viral just so that it can help people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not hating on Instagrammers.
I'm not hating on Instagrammers.
Not at all.
Not the one. Not you. I haven't seen Derek with any flowy dresses and floppy hats lately. Now, if you have that, I might follow Mr. Means to Travel.
Babs says, I read it's a perfect time to try those natural deodorants that may not work. I love Lume. Lume. It's a really good natural deodorant. It actually works. So,
So, journey with Eric and Julia. When travel opens, considering Switzerland and Scotland, which would you recommend? If you're going to be taking your kids, Scotland. If you're not going to be taking your kids, Scotland.
Switzerland with our children was a big fat fail.
Especially younger kids. They are not friendly with younger children. If it's just the two of you, Switzerland can be very nice. It is gorgeous. I mean, Switzerland is gorgeous. It is high quality everything. It is just amazing.
It's also pricey.
It's very pricey. And if you're going to go with your kids, I mean, I would because you don't want your kids to have a bad experience when they go abroad, because that can affect them longer term. And Scotland, like, everyone's pretty cool. There's a lot of open spaces where kids can play too. You can just pull over the car. Like Caleb and Liam would go and run up the hills and stuff like that, just for some get out some energy time. So that'd be a good
Scotland
one.
is very open to kids, and they have a lot of kids, and your kids can make friends, which is always incredible. You know, when your kids start making friends with others around the world, it just makes it even better.
So, Gallivanting Gals, Walter's World, how do you choose what channels you would do collabs with? Well, I only do collabs with people that are going up to the UP later this year. So I've actually put things out about this, and some people have said yes, but they don't follow up with it when I've actually contacted them, like, hey, would you like to do something? Some just never answer. Some just, I don't have time for you. Some we're too busy. I would say 9 times out of 10, I get a no when I ask to do collabs. And because whenever you want to ask to do a collab with somebody, what you want to do is you want to say, hey, look, here's a video we can put on our channel. Here's a video we can put on your channel. Here's my audience I can bring to you. Here's your audience. And so you're not just saying, hey, will you work with me? Because then it's like, well, you're putting all the work on me and you're going to get the benefit. What you want to do is like, look, here's some ideas I have we could do. Would this be interested? And I like to say, like, this will work on your channel. This will work on my channel. Like we did for Underground History. I did a interview with them to talk about travel and history and stuff like that. And I said, hey, look, we'll do one on my channel, but right now nobody's watching my travel channel. So let's wait to do the one that shows up on my channel for a couple of months till things come back up. And then you'll get more like views than you would have like if you did it now. It's like, screaming in the wind if we did it now. And so we'll do that. And some people like, there's another geography channel that we talked a few times. And I'm like, well, I've got some ideas for us. Here's what I think. What are some of your ideas? And then then they never replied back. I'm like, so of course, I think they'd actually ended up making those videos I suggested.
Gallivanting Gals, also the sticky toffee pudding place in Illinois is called the Lucky Monkey in Bement, Illinois.
Yeah, that is the only thing in Bement.
Yeah, but it's really good. All their food is good. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesdays, they have fried chicken, which is like, it's excellent fried chicken.
Oh, we were in Belfast, Maine. Oh, they do? Okay. We stayed outside of Belfast during the festival they have in the summer.
Thank you, Michael.
With the fireworks and stuff. We were sorry, I didn't see what those guys were talking about.
I don't know, but Michael's telling him to give it a rest. So
yeah, and we were there. And we stayed. That's where we stayed in those little like 1950s cottages.
Yeah, those were super cool. Hang on, there was one right there.
No, I'm going to go back to the other stuff.
Okay.
You can talk about that.
Lori said, I enjoy you and your family and the sharing you do. My son and I like to explore neighborhoods in large cities. Can you please suggest some European cities that lend themselves to the same? Every large city in Europe is set up far more appropriately for neighborhood exploration than the United States. So I don't think there's anywhere that you won't be able to do that. Okay, hang on. There was one. Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Nothing. Something caught my eye, but you had already answered.
Driving tips.
I apologize.
Driving trips when this opens up. I answer Bab's question.
So driving trips. Mark and I, we do road trips all the time. We do them everywhere, whether in the U.S. or abroad. We have a couple videos on road trips and, how to do them well. So what I love about road trips is that you can plan specific parts and then you can just like let other things like, go to the wind. You can do a little bit of like specifics and then also, by the seat of your pants. So we may have a starting point and an ending point, and we may have like booked hotels. We often, like when we get up in the morning, we're like, okay, how are we feeling? What do we want to see between here and, the next place, between the end and the beginning, right? So we may not book our hotel until that morning when we get up and we get on the road and we're looking at the maps and we're seeing stuff. So we, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. And I'm just not doing a very good job right now.
Focus.
So anyway, you don't have to book everything right away. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be really specific all of the time is what I'm trying to say. So that's my best thing. Also, to save money on road trips, you can, get food and make your own sandwiches and things like that. And then we stop on the side of the road sometimes and eat, at a lookout or whatever. We pull over in a park, and it also keeps you eating like real food, healthier food, rather than fast food all the time, because we all, especially Americans, we tend to just go to fast food places. So to avoid that, we go to grocery stores. So
here we go. Okay, so because the link's not, I tried to add the link so it'll be clickable, but I can't mess with this while we're filming it. So I just put the Pause for the World link up there so you can see it a little bit easier. Just pausefortheworld.com, and that's where you can find all the stuff. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. That's another reason I was distracted, because there was like so much going on the screen.
So Mirko, hello from Italy. Good to see you. Where have we been in Italy? A lot of places in the north, in the center of Italy, in the south, past the Amalfi Coast. The only place we've been is Sicily. But we've done, pretty much take the Veneto, the Dolomites. I spent so much time. I spent months and months and months in Vicenza.
Tiny little villages.
Yeah, so basically, like all the main tourist stuff from Milan to Udine, and then to Bergamo and Trento and stuff like that. Oh, Torino. No, I didn't get to Torino. No, not there. Trento. There, and go down to Bologna. Hit pretty much all the main sites to there, and then below Bologna, you got like the Florence, Siena, Pisa, Rome, Amalfi Coast stuff, and then it goes down to Sicily. So like the south of Italy, I really need to do a lot more on. So
yeah, there was one I wanted to answer.
We eat a lot of cheese because we live on the moon.
Yes.
But I'm bum.
And now he knows why we've traveled to Mars. That's right.
So Sahil points out that all public events in the Netherlands have been banned to the 1st of September. So if you get to Amsterdam, there might not be much going around here. Yeah, I like to look up to get new websites and stuff like that for the blogs. We're trying to update some of the older blogs to get more information and to help people out. And so I'm trying to find like every museum's like big thing on top. We are closed. Like, there's not like, and there's no like when we might be open. It's just we're closed. But I think everyone kind of knows that now. But yeah, at least you have an idea when these things are happening. So, there we go. Another huge jump. Okay, I was like, why do we have no messages? Now I understand why.
Because they all just came now.
So Jacob, Alex, are your kids homeschooled? They are now.
No, they're limbo schooled right now. No, our kids go to traditional school.
Paid actors.
All right. Liz says, I hate traveling with floppy hats. It's so hard. I don't know how those Instagram ladies do it. They must check luggage.
Well, I've seen some of them. They actually wear the floppy hat onto the plane. So they have it with them walking into the airplane kind of stuff. I'm like, everyone hates you if you come on a plane with a huge hat for like a 15-hour flight because you're going to like try to take all that space up there for your hat. But anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Trip to Poland is really nice. I booked 2 hotels. I'm going to Krakow and Zakopane. Any suggestion for a trip into the mountains? I've got 10 days. Hiking there is really good, or skiing. Depends what time of year you're going to go. I do recommend when you're in Krakow, go to the salt, do the day tour to the salt mines. Also do the day tour to Birkenau, Auschwitz. That's going to take up. So there's 2 days there, then a couple days in Krakow to see the main sites there, and then you got your day to go to Zakopane. Then you got 4 or 5 days to enjoy the mountains. That's what I kind of do.
Daniel Edwards says at Liz, that's what Photoshop is for. So truly, that's something that Mark gets annoyed with the back flippers. I get annoyed at the fact that I know things are Photoshopped because I know and I've been there.
The same 3 clouds going. I'm like, wow, you have the same clouds in all your pictures.
But it makes me crazy because I know these places and people are altering the things to make them, grammable. And I get it that it's cool just to look at, but like,
it's not helping actual travel.
It doesn't really, because then you get there and you've got the wrong impression, like it's not real life.
And that's why I always find it funny because there's always people that complain that I'm filming in bad weather. Like, why aren't you filming when it's sunny? You should wait to film until it's sunny. I'm like, yes, I'm going to change the weather. This is what it's like. It rains. There's snow. There's sun. There's wind. Like, This is what you have to know. And so it's more realistic versus the perfect time, the slow motion walk through on the beautiful things. Like, like all the pictures of the Taj Mahal. Yeah, there's nobody else there. Or my favorite, the empty Great Wall of China.
Because that doesn't happen.
Never happens.
That is, I mean, that's just not a thing.
And then they'll defend, oh yeah, no, it totally was. I'm like, okay, you were the first person in line. You ran up the steps as far as you could with your camera boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever up to this spot. So you got a few pictures till the other people got there. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So like that one scenario, it just...
they're photoshopped. Filters are great because, and I don't really use them very often, but sometimes you take a picture, it's just too dark. So you need to lighten it up so it's like you can see it, right? But there's a difference between that and literally cutting out the 4,000 people on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
There's filters, you guys know, if you watch us, you know that honesty is like what we hold. We hold it very dear. And so that's like a big thing for us, that people are sort of being dishonest,
My little Bubby Verity isn't feeling so good today.
Aww.
She's lying into me, and every time Jocelyn laughs, she laughs at deep growling.
Aww.
I love it.
Little pumpkin. I hope she feels better soon. All right.
I'm glad we could help out Eric and Julia.
Yes.
Let's see.
Philippe was telling Shane the question about what to do in Paris. Find a nice little cafe, grab a coffee or drink, and people watch. Take it all in.
That's the best.
It really is. And we often end up doing that in parks because we have boys who are not going to sit in a cafe for hours, but they will allow us to sit for hours in a park while they play. So,
Yeah.
and
That's why you'll see we have,
them.
like when we were in Paris last time, I didn't get a chance to film a lot of videos, so I filmed them in the park when we were there. So when the boys were playing around, that's why you have Liam, like the scams of Paris. Liam's like going across the background. And then the best is like Jocelyn's got a stick, so you see a stick like coming from the side of the video, like poking him out of the way. That was pretty funny.
We had so much fun. It was in Parc Monceau, which is my favorite. All right. So, there was one. Oh, I've watched your video visiting Japan. Where would you rank Japan on the bucket list for someone who's never been?
Excuse me. Well, you do.
So, I think that if you, especially if you've never been to Asia, I think Japan should be really high on the list for Asia. I like to divide the world into regions, right? It's pretty easy to get around. Despite the fact that it's a very densely populated place, it's it's not hard to navigate. Even though, like for instance, Tokyo is a really big city, you can manage it. Not a ton of English, but you'd be surprised at how often people will come to you and try to speak English with you. Food is excellent all the way around.
Super high quality food.
Yeah, very high quality food. However, it's kind of pricey. So have that in mind when you're traveling. But culturally, they are so respectful, and honor is such a thing that you don't have to. You might mess up, but they won't really take that against you, because they don't really expect us to be as good as they are. They do expect you to be mannerly, but it makes it a little bit easier. And it's a calm society, despite the fact, like I told Mark, and I've said it on here before, you can be in like with the big crossing, Shinjuku, the big crossing that you see where it's a big X crossing and there's just like gobs and gobs of people. When you're going through that, the only people who are speaking are the tourists, or the only ones you hear speaking. I mean, it can be quiet in like a crowd of 1 million. It's just absolutely incredible, but it's an easy thing to do. So I'd rank it pretty high.
Dipayan, sorry if I said your name wrong. My apologies, D. What are your top 5 favorite European cities that you absolutely do want to recommend others to visit? So I usually, when it's especially the first time kind of thing, I usually stay with bigger cities. So you've got Rome, Paris, Prague. Those are 3, and then the next 3 or 4 can vary between going to Madrid, London, maybe Berlin or Munich, depending on what you're looking for. Like that. If you want middle-sized towns, I'd say Sevilla. Like Sevilla, Salzburg, in Austria, Copenhagen, Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Vienna's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Innsbruck, Austria is lovely too. I like that.
Oh, we're frozen again.
Oh, super. That means we're going to have a massive jump.
Okay.
What cities in Texas, traveling the world, what cities in Texas have you been to? Which was your favorite? What did you do in each of them? That's a lot of questions. So I've been to Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio. I was in Houston as a kid. I don't really remember much of that. I love San Antonio. That would be my favorite. Like if we were moving to Texas, I'd want to go to San Antonio. Yeah. The traffic in Austin would make me like want to punch people. Like I don't know how people handle that.
There's way too much testosterone in Austin too. Like so many people, a lot of tech guys have moved from like California and other places to Austin. So we were out in one of the going out areas. And I'm sitting next to Jocelyn with our wedding rings holding hands, and guys are still hitting on her because there's just no women there. I was insulted like a couple of times. I was like, and then Mark was filming and I was sitting reading a book in a park,
And I'm reading a book, and this guy just comes up to me, like, as if though, I'm not reading a book. And he's like, hey, what's that guy doing over there? And kind of was like snarky about Mark filming. And I was like, he's filming, a video on traveling to Austin. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, he's my husband. Oh, okay. So, and he continues to hit on me. Like, well, I mean, he hadn't been hitting on me at that point. But then he begins hitting on me. And like,
Well,
so
because I was busy for the filming. So
asking me like, and I'm like, I just looked at him. I said, I don't think you understand. He's my husband, not looking for anything else.
I forgot about that.
Like, just, dude, you're blatant, and I'm not into that. So, see ya. And that was, I don't know. I found it, like, as a woman, I kind of want to walk around with my middle finger up to a lot of people. I was like, just get away from me. Stop it, Yeah.
James
Anyway.
Townsend, I love his thing. Love your videos and thanks for the chat. Be well and walk to the next station if you get kicked off your train of thought. That is a great saying, James. I guess you're probably off now, but thanks, buddy. I'm going to remember that one. So we'll just kind of keep on. Oh, well, there you go. Just did a big jump.
Jimmy had a question I wanted to answer, but it went away. It was something about...
Ralph, I missed two of his questions, but I don't see.
Well, Jimmy was asking like if there were certain cultures and foods in Europe that we like better than American ones. Well, generally speaking,
the food is
the food. I mean, and it's not that we don't love American food. It's just that, like, for instance, if I want Italian food, it's very rare that I find Italian food in the United States that is as good as it is in Italy, right? Normandy oysters, Norman oysters are like incomparable to anything I get in the U.S. Not really. I mean, we have some really great oysters in the U.S. I shouldn't say they're incomparable, but I don't know. But so too, there are things in the U.S. that I miss greatly when I'm like living in Europe, So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Journey with Eric and Julia. No, we still had some great times in Texas. Just Austin was a little interesting.
It was just those guys in Austin. Everything else was great. Actually, I loved the boutiques, and I only bought I bought a couple little bracelets. Remember that cool shop, Lee something Lee. Anyway. Cool shot. I enjoyed so much of it, but those men just put a bad taste in my mouth. So, yeah.
So Sue Peterson says we should show them our map one day with all our pins. We can do that. It's nailed to the wall upstairs.
You know what? It's in our 12 Days of Christmas video from
in the
year
background.
Before last.
That's right. Because
we're standing in front of it.
That's right. So you can always tell when I'm putting together the 12 Days of Christmas thing, and I'm like, we're missing one. I'm like, all right, well, let's go to the map or let's go to the Christmas tree and put the kids there. So there's usually one of those every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mirko, I'm sad that they're not having Oktoberfest this year, but they're probably doing the right call. Happy Looking wants to go from Rhode Island out to Texas. So many things. There are tons of stuff to see between the ways.
Definitely hire a car.
Yeah, if you want to do that, because then you can really see all the spots along the way. It's going to be a long drive, but I would do like a pickup in Rhode Island, drop off in Texas, so you fly into Rhode Island and then fly out of Texas, so you don't have to double back.
Jonathan says, this is brilliant. To be fair, every single time I travel from the U.S. to Europe or Asia, I start to miss Mexican food immediately.
Preach!
You can't beat the Mexican food in this country. So,
well, in Mexico you can, but
Mexico you can, sure. But when Mark and I, and also I love Tex-Mex, which is similar but different. I think Tex-Mex is just absolutely wonderful. Mark took me, there was a Mexican restaurant in the mall in Lisbon, and I was like, oh, Mark, I want tacos, I want fajitas, give me a burrito. Like, I was so excited, right?
And I'm like, don't.
And he's like, no, it's just bad, but I'll let you learn it. And so he did.
I've gone to every Mexican place I've ever seen. 12 years in Europe. I'm like, I would go to everyone trying to find decent Mexican food, and the only time I found acceptable Mexican food, well, twice. One, someone was asking if I've been to Bucharest. Yes, I've been to Bucharest. In Brasov, they had a Hungarian-Mexican restaurant. That was good. They had good Mexican food. And then there was one in London we went to.
The last
time that we were there.
The first time we went to London together, though, I found green beans in my taco.
And lots of mushrooms.
Like green beans as in like, beans. Like not beans like black beans or pinto beans, but like green beans. WTF. Like I was like, what is this? So, and then the same thing, I got fajitas in Lisbon, and there were carrots. There were other kinds of beans. I think there were peas. Peas weren't terrible. I could handle that. It was just this, all the weirdest vegetables you can imagine got thrown into my fajitas. And I was like, can you even find Mexico on a map? Because this ain't it. Like it was terrible.
So Mr. Means to Travel is setting up to get a drone, to which Mrs. Means to Travel is, why don't you figure out your GoPro first? Oh, snap. There you go.
You two kids.
He's probably hiding in the bathroom typing that one in. So yeah, Melvin, like I said, Bucharest was nice. Their peasant museum, if that's still what it's called, basically they took all kinds of stuff from all over. It really shows like the culture of Romania, the historic culture of Romania is really cool. And then there's an outdoor museum in Bucharest where they brought in all these buildings from all over the country. I mean, I won't tell you the bad stuff about how they got the buildings there, but just know that museum really does show you some really fantastic things. Because if you go to the east part of Romania, there's some just gorgeous wooden churches there.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Hang on.
Yeah, we already went there. No, you already were there. You already answered that one. You already answered.
I didn't actually. But I just wanted to read it. I don't think I had to answer it. I just wanted to see what it said. Thank you. Jeez, oh, Pete. And now I've lost it. Okay.
And I'm just sitting here.
Well, because talking. You wouldn't stop when I said stop.
Sorry.
Yes, I want to go to Bhutan, Kathy. I really want to go to Bhutan, but it's stupid expensive. You could make a video with all the moments that something disturbs you when you're filming, such as a car, birds. Oh, we have a really funny one from of Mark and I trying to do one in Paris. Even a cop even comes in and talks to us. A little kid comes and talks to us. The bells were going. Mark had a bat in the cave. I mean, the whole thing was just absolutely hilarious. That's one of my favorite outtakes.
Just know that all the videos, though, when you watch it, they're 12 minutes long. They're probably about 20 minutes long because there's some car goes by. There's something else that happens. Someone is, like, doing things. Like, we were filming, reading bedtime stories for kids for our local group here. And I'm trying to film, and, of course, like, it's totally quiet. But once I try to film outside reading, then all of a sudden, construction's truck goes by. A plane flew overhead. There's no planes going. Private plane flies in. I'm like, really?
It's crazy.
Anyway.
Josh Turpin. Hi, guys, from Brighton, England. Oh, one of my best friends lives in Brighton. Would you recommend a few weeks traveling around Central Europe or Southern Europe? I'd love to see Budapest, Vienna, but I also want to go around Croatia. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Croatia. Someone's asked about Croatia. We've been to Croatia. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Found some old Croatia videos. I got to put those up, too, for some smaller towns. Man, you can't go wrong with either one. But I think if it's your first time going, I would probably do the Prague, Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest thing there because those are relatively close to each other and you can get to them with trains or buses or whatever. I would probably do that. The coast in Croatia, though, is gorgeous, but it's really rocky, so make sure you have all the stuff there. Josh Parks, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. American breakfast is what I miss when traveling. Thanks for the chats in these crazy times. I'm glad we can, Josh. And I do, too. I miss waffles. My mom makes the most incredible waffles ever. Waffles, my mom's the waffle bomb. Jocelyn makes the awesome eggs Benedict. Fantastic. I make good pancakes. Is there a question? No, I was just stating facts. Moving on.
Your facts as you see them.
What?
Sahil
you do make a great. You make a great.
Sahil says, I understand what you mean about Mexican food. The Indian food outside India is not even close. And people still like it. Hence, I can't wait for their reaction when they have it in India. So we love Indian food. Mark and I, we absolutely love it. What we have found is that if you go to an Indian restaurant long enough,
they start to trust you.
They start to trust you, and they give you more authentic food as time goes on. I can't do the stuff that's like stupid spicy that like makes you sweat when it comes out of the kitchen.
I used to love that. But they had to train me in Berlin. They had to train me over years to be able to eat the really hot stuff. And so when I get it, like people would start, you see people sweating as they brought it by. And then people will be like, oh, can I order that? They're like, no. You can't. He's a regular. He's been trained to eat this. You are a German. You think salt is spicy. No. I mean, it was hilarious because it would happen all the time.
Yeah. So, and we had a place that we went to all the time in Lisbon. And Sahil, when you do go to Lisbon, I would love for you to look at this place. It's called Natraj, Natraj.
Yeah.
Is that right? It's on Rue de Sol ao Ratu.
Right from the Ratu station.
Yeah, it's right up from the Ratu metro stop. So anyway, those guys, they have the most diverse Indian menu I've ever seen any place. And they worked us into hotter and funkier foods, but oh my gosh, I think I ate everything on that while I was pregnant.
And I think one of the things, if you're like any restaurant where you're not sure of because a lot of times when you go like Indian, you eat like, oh, I have the korma because I know that. I always say, you know what, if you want to experiment, ask the waiters, but look, this is what I usually get, but I'm ready to try something new, and they'll help you like experiment little by little. I know like the Indian place I went to in Berlin all the time, like it got to the point they're like, look, you order this all the time. You're here like 5 days a week. Like, please order something else. Like, look, they're like, look, we're going to get this instead. You don't have to pay for it. Just try something different so you expand. I'm like, all right. And then I just started going. I was like, that was good. And then I just literally went through the menu like, brrr, and I didn't like everything, but I liked like, I don't know, 95% of it. I didn't even the veggie things. I was like that. The spinach stuff was pretty good.
I love the veggie things.
So Deepayan, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend.
Thank you for the super chat.
Very nice of you.
Yes.
Oh, the Calgary Stampede's been canceled too. That sucks. I've not been to Brasilia. Have you been to Brasilia?
No.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm at university at the moment. I have a year abroad soon, and I'm looking at Arizona or Oregon. Arizona and Oregon. What would you say would give me the best uni life experience as an English dude?
Okay, so I would say going to either the University of Arizona or University of Oregon, because those are big universities. We're going to have the true university, and they're in university towns where the towns are more
ASU
influenced.
or U of A.
Well, ASU is in Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix, so maybe not.
Yeah, you want to go to a place that the town is the university. Like where we're at is a university town, so everything's about that. So everybody's getting the university experience, and so then you get to have the real university experience. Whereas if you go to school in a big city, you have the city experience that doesn't necessarily give you like the college experience.
At Athens, Georgia, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama, no joke, those would probably give you two of the most honest university experiences ever, but they're also Southern, so there's like a whole nother thing right there with it. So
Elliot L, thank you very much for the super chat. Peace be with the journey. Yes, peace be with the journey for everyone out here.
That's right.
Oh, let's see. Jennifer Benzie, when you guys watch films or TV shows, do you recognize where they are filming, even though they're claiming it's somewhere else? Yes. And even where was it? Caleb called it out a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Well, he's done that a few times.
Oh, on TV. I'm like, we were here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no.
We will be in a place, and the kids will say, hey, this is from this. I remember seeing this in whatever movie or TV show. But yes, we'll be watching. Caleb's really getting into that now. As you know, he's 13. He's a little more like cognizant of those things. But yeah, he's seeing those things a lot. It's funny to see.
Yeah. Let's see.
Franz, any food recommendations for Miami? Cuban food?
Yeah, go to Little Havana and just enjoy.
Just eat everything. But Cuban food is like outrageous good there. There are many good foods in Miami, but that would be a good one.
So Nifty 50s Live says Nepalese food is fantastic too. Yes, it is. My mom actually had Nepalese food in the Shetland Islands actually last summer, and it was funny. like it was so good. We were like, can we order this and then this? Like, because we were the only people at the restaurant, and so we were ordering like, oh, this is good. It was kind of like smaller portions because we were going. I'm like, oh, can we try that and that? Because we never had it before, and the beer from Nepal was actually pretty good too.
Yeah,
there you go.
Interesting, and and there are places around the world like that the neighboring country that is larger is the one that everybody knows, but then the one next door is equally as good. Like a lot of people know about Ethiopian food, which I love.
It's really good.
But then Rwandan food was, I mean, not that they're like,
they're not even similar, but they're
not,
also really good.
But like when you think of like that side of Africa, right? Rwandan food wouldn't come to mind, but it's excellent.
Yeah,
So.
Paul Tipton points out a local Indian restaurant I visit sometimes is a buffet night where you can just go up and help yourself. And I think for Indian food that's really good because you can just like put your rice down, then you have like little separate piles of different kind of things. That would be a really good one. As long as they have the sign saying what it is. That's what I don't like when you go to the buffet or you go to all these things where you're supposed to try stuff and there's no sign. I'm like, I really like that. What was that? And you're like, got to explain to the waiter. Like it was like the third one over and they've already changed. You're like, no, that was what I always loved.
Tanya Vasquez says, Tanya or Tanya, I'm not sure. But anyway, Miss Vasquez says, I went on a girls' trip
to Paris a couple of years ago for a week.
I don't know what you just said.
But really struggled getting over the jet lag. Any tips for getting over jet lag?
Yes. So first and foremost, sleep on the plane on the way there. That really helps. Whether you have to take melatonin or you have a couple glasses of wine, whatever you need to do to get yourself to sleep on the way there is very helpful. When you get there, this is the big part. Sleep for like no more than like allow yourself 2 hours and then get up and go. Do not fall into that thing the first day. If you can get past that, that's a huge thing. The other thing is I use something called Jet Zone. It's a homeopathic remedy. So, talk to your naturopath or your doctor or whatever. And that stuff, like we went to Japan and I used it. And you take it an hour before you get on the plane and then throughout the flight and whatever. They didn't take it. They were like zombies and it was terrible. And we got to Tokyo and I'm like ready to go. I felt wonderful. So there you go.
So the debate over the breakfasts around the world, I do too like a full English breakfast or a full Scottish breakfast, a full Irish breakfast. Those are pretty amazing. But I think that's the thing is if you can get the right breakfasts, because when I go to Germany, I like the Semmel, the rolls and the bread, and the cheese and stuff like that, and the Leberwurst and stuff. It's like, yeah, it really is. Like breakfasts are very different. Like Italy, you're like having like nothing. Like you have like a croissant or like a little
umabica in Portugal.
Yeah, there's not much there. So it's interesting how the breakfasts can be very different. Lots of places. Like when we were in China, it was the same menu except they had a bun at breakfast instead of like there's the normal menu. Then like and we had a bun.
Oh no, they had the rice soup.
Oh yeah,
it was true. Literally it was just rice with a whole lot of water in it, and the Chinese at our hotel were like, and our hotel didn't have a restaurant. It was they sort of sent you to the restaurant down the street.
Well, no, in the morning you went to the cement cinder block rectangle thing in the morning, and they always laughed at me.
Oh my gosh, but that was interesting. To us as Westerners, breakfast was the same as lunch, was the same as dinner.
It was interesting. So Giselle Rivera, call me crazy, haha. But am I the only one that thinks that fast food in Europe tastes better than in America? Burger King in Berlin is really good. I agree. Like Burger King in Germany is a level above. I mean, that sounds weird saying that. Like it's better. It is better there. It sounds weird, but I feel. This sounds so silly saying this. It feels healthier or less bad for you when I get it in Europe than when I get it or like in Japan than I do get it in the U.S. So I do understand what you're saying, Giselle. I agree with you in that respect. And I find that the local fast food joints, it's funny because they're local Quicks and Nordze and stuff like that seem to be like a fresher alternative to the U.S. version. So there is a definite different vibe to it. So there is that.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so someone was at Stefan Bush was saying, which country in Europe has the most underrated food? And my mom was like, yes, Lithuanian food is good. Yeah, I would say Lithuanian food is definitely natural. Lithuanians hate GMOs. They hate anything that's not organic. They hate anything that's not like from land. So like I lived there, everything was organic, but nothing said organic because you couldn't buy anything that really wasn't.
Because it was all organic.
It was all that. And so like when McDonald's, they had to have ads up saying these are our French fries are made with 100% Lithuanian bulvu potatoes, because that's how people are there. And so the food was very much a natural kind of thing. It was very hearty, very filling. It will pack on the pounds if you're not careful because there's a lot of cream and sour cream. A lot of sour cream, I should say.
And the portions are massive. Like, I could have shared my meal with both of my kids and we still could have had stuff left over.
Yeah.
Jesleen says, how would you spend 10 days in Brazil? You want to answer that?
Sure, I would split it between the Minas Gerais region and the northeast region of Brazil. I wouldn't actually, if you want to experience Brazil, I wouldn't necessarily do Rio and Sao Paulo. If you had to fly in, you'd probably have to fly to Rio or Sao Paulo, but I would go to Minas Gerais region. You have Ouro Preto as your base, and you're going to be doing day trips to Mariana, day trips to like Tiradentes and Congonhas. You can do there's a lot of day trips.
Congonhas, that's what we were trying to think of last night.
Those are nice ones to go to. And then if you go to the northeast, you're looking at like João Pessoa, Maceió. Those are nice places to go. I really enjoy it. But the thing is, you're probably going to fly into Recife in the northeast of Brazil. Recife is not safe. Olinda is a nice little town by there, which you can go visit.
Is cute.
But you're going to go to like the beach resort stuff in Praia de Galinhas, the chicken bay, chicken beach. So that's some place to go. So that's how I would divide it up. If I was going to go someplace I didn't feel like I needed to go to one of the big cities. Now, we couldn't do that because we have to go to Sao Paulo to see our Brazilian family there. So, you know how it is.
WD Harris says, you were on one of my flights going to Europe one time. I wanted to say hi, but I don't like to bother people. Plus, your kids were bedding down. Yeah, bedding down.
So my kids are being annoying brats.
So WD has seen me at my worst because I'm... Like, that's when I'm like my nastiest.
Well, just give me the... We can do if you don't want to come, we can still do the distance stuff. Like, we fine.
Yeah.
So WD,
do say hello. We appreciate it.
Even to the kids, even if I'm melting down with the children,
and we do have.
It might help me like de-melt down.
Kind of makes me stressed right now just thinking about it. Like, oh, I hate that part. Actually, our kids are really pretty good, but there are moments when they're exhausted and they're sleeping, and then they somehow get woken or they can't get comfortable. But you know what?
It's like other people.
I do that too.
Yeah, I don't let her wear. She'll throw on a turtleneck to fly. I'm like, no, because I
take my clothes off. I mean, I don't take my clothes off.
No, you do.
But I do take my clothes off. But I dress in layers so that I can do that because anything that is restrictive on a plane for me is just not a good idea.
Hey, so Sahil, I want you to know. On yesterday, I filmed 10 Professor Walters videos. For a chapter for my next class, and Sahil became my de facto example person. So it was like Sahil and Bob, Sahil's Burger Shop, Bob's Burger Shop. It was like Sahil got stuck in my head. So Sahil, just know that I totally
You're famous.
use you. Like, whenever you hear me use Sahil as an example, it's you, buddy.
That's funny.
Let's see. It just jumped around. Just jumped around again.
Huge one.
Belfast is surprisingly beautiful, Klaus. Yeah, and Belfast is surprisingly different because a lot of people think Northern Ireland is just going to be like Ireland, which is really interesting because you have a definite architecture style and feel in Ireland. And when you go to Northern Ireland, especially in Belfast, it's like, whoa, it's like I'm in an English city plopped in Ireland, and you kind of are. But it really has a very different vibe for sure. And it is a lot cheaper than Dublin. Yes. And I would say a lot cheaper, but it's cheaper.
Yeah, Kathy, my mother-in-law says, I'd like to take a brief nap, drink water, or eat something and stay up to the new bedroom. I adjust bedtime. I adjust quicker. And that's absolutely true. And the water is a big thing. I should have mentioned that with jet lag. Staying hydrated is massively important.
And not just alcohol hydration.
No, that's not hydration.
Oh.
That does not count. Oh,
so,
Elliot
so
says...
I'm doing it wrong?
Yes. Elliot says Iguazu Falls, and Iguazu is great, but the thing is, it's kind of like off by itself as far as like seeing a lot of other stuff in Brazil, but Iguazu is really incredible.
Yeah. Baggy T, my buddy. What's the difference between Copacabana Beach and Leme Beach? Why is one safer than the other? So Copacabana and Leme are actually the same piece of sand.
Yeah.
It's just that when you get towards it's like 2/3 of it is Copacabana and 1/3 is Leme. Leme is a bit safer because there's like a police training facility at the end, so people tend not to like mess around out front of the police academy, basically. Mm-hmm. So there is that. So that's one of the reasons why.
Sloan has a good point. As a vegan, I can't eat French fries from McDonald's in the U.S., but I can from McDonald's in Europe and Canada.
Oh, that's cool. I thought that was everywhere they had that. Oh,
no,
cool.
And do you know they also, I don't know about elsewhere because I just don't eat them, but in the U.S. they also have gluten in them.
Yeah, for that crispy on the outside.
Yeah, to make them crispy.
Yeah, I love my Culvers, but nobody can beat McDonald's fries, man. They're legit.
They're not vegan and they're not gluten free. How a French fry cannot be gluten free? It's so silly, right?
We'll find a way,
right? I mean, I get it that if it's like fried in like duck fat and things like that things aren't
or
vegan,
truffle oil.
But truffle oil would be okay.
Yes. So Stuart Ross, first time in Berlin, had to try currywurst. It was excellent. It was. And it's funny how sometimes you will talk yourself out of trying things. So I lived in Berlin for 2.5 years, and it took me probably half a year to eat a currywurst. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. And I was like, why didn't I have this earlier? It's like the Shalti Bashi.
It sounds weird.
Yeah, it's like the Pepto Bismol looking soup in Lithuania. It's cold borscht, but it looks like you're eating a bowl of Pepto Bismol. And I'm like, I can't do it. And then you finally have it, and like, I can't find the video of you loving it like crazy.
I remember I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I was just like chowing down. I said, if Barbie had a bathtub, it would look like this.
I know, and I couldn't find it because we did that What's a Dough in Lithuania video.
Which is
and I'm like,
stupid
no.
Because it's really more like Barbie's bathwater. Because it's so pink. That's all I could think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you melted down the Barbie dream house pink and just made it into a soup.
So funny.
Oh man.
What is Christian saying there? Oh. Right under the arrow.
After our flight, those are hearts. Thank you, Helder Carvalho. Obrigado. After our flight to France, we knocked out at 6 p.m. and woke up at 4 a.m. That's actually not bad. Like, because what we'll do is if we get in, I'm like, look, as long as we can stay out till 6. Because then we get back out. Like, not like get back, like, oh, we're doing stuff, having dinner, doing all those things. Okay, it's like 6 now. We can think about going back. Because then you figure like 6 to 7, you're back and you go to sleep. Then if you wake up early, it's fine, but at least you got that sleep in.
Close.
Because the thing is, if you fall asleep at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, you're going to wake up at like 2 in the morning. There's nothing you can do. But waking up at 4, okay, you wake up at 4, shower, get ready. You're ready by 5-ish, 5:15. Everybody's there. Get your stuff in order. Look over your things. 5:30, you can go out for a walk. And it's normal hour to go for a walk. So you're not like, oh, there's some weirdo out there. It's, oh, someone's out walking.
Yeah, you're less likely to get arrested.
Or robbed and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. And I find that going to Europe, for me, when I go east, I do okay. It's coming back west that it just kicks my butt.
Colin!
It's hard for me.
Hey, Colin.
Good morning, McInnes's. How are you?
Yeah, Mr. Blonde's pointing out that I do use Sahil quite often in Professor.
Well, why is that?
He's always on. He's
my phone. Hang on, right here.
My phone provider has a great international plan, but eventually we'll do much longer term travel. What should I do about setting up a SIM card? Can we take that one?
Yes, go ahead.
So if you're going to be doing these like multiple months one, if you're doing a Europe one, I would get a phone you're there, because now that Europe does not have roaming fees, you can get like a Vodafone phone, cheap one, cheaper one, and have that, and then you can top up online and do it that way. And then you just have like your UK number throughout Europe, or your German number throughout Europe, and you can do that. That can save you a lot of money, because you're right. Like for 2 weeks or to a month, you can probably use your own, but over that, it gets a little bit too pricey to have your US number, your home-based number. So you want to do that. And remember, your phone might be locked to your carrier you have back home. So having your Samsung Galaxy 10 might not work when you put a different chip in there. So you also have to think about that. So Christoph asks, how available is fresh seafood, especially fish, in Germany? Relatively easy to get, though pork is the most popular dish there. There will usually be a seafood fish dish as well. On the menus, you see a lot of river fish and stuff like that, especially in the south.
But mind you, they are river fish, so freshwater fish, not oceanic fish. And personally, I don't really love freshwater fish most of the time, so I'm not a huge fan of it. But every now and then I find one that's really good. So for me, it's hit or miss. Banako says, are hot dogs better in the U.S., especially in Costco or elsewhere in the world? So you cannot compare American hot dogs, especially at Costco.
If you get a fat Bockwurst in Germany, oh my God, it's so good. Frankfurt.
But Frankfurters, those things, they're very different. I know I don't like boiled, steamed. Like that grosses me out. I only like hot dogs if they're grilled. Like it's just my thing. Anyway, Mark likes boiled hot dogs. Makes me kind of want to puke. Like looking at them boiling in a pan is so
then don't look at them.
Well, I can't help it. You put a glass lid on them. I can't.
Then stay out of the kitchen. I can take care of it. It
looks like wieners.
It's boiling hot dogs. I think I can handle that.
But they look like actual wieners boiling.
You must look at different wieners than I do. I don't know.
Do you look at wieners?
I go look at my own wiener when I go wee wee. I don't look like that. No, whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Went way out of there.
Yeah, Jocelyn had to bring up wieners, and he knows I was going to be bad. So Elliot asked, have you guys ever been to the Reeperbahn? That place is wild. So the Reeperbahn, for those of you who know, in Hamburg, Reeperbahn is in Hamburg, and it's kind of like the party district, but also there's a street on there where prostitutes are in the windows like you have in Amsterdam, but it's restricted to men over the age of 18 to walk through.
Women can't?
No, women cannot go through.
Huh.
So
that's sexist.
Just tell it, like, at least that's how it was back in the day.
Okay.
But the thing what's funny is the Reeperbahn has got all these clubs, sex shops, all kinds of stuff. But also, that's where you go see Lion King live. So it's like Lion King, theater things here.
How do you get your children to the Lion King?
Well, no, that street that's like a back street. It's like a back alley where that is. But the Reeperbahn itself, there's parties and restaurants. There was a Hesburger on there.
Yes.
So I had to go there. But I've partied there quite a few times, and it's not all like naughty stuff. It's actually like good clubs. Hamburg's really good. Like if you're young, you want to party and shop. Hamburg's really good for that in Germany. It's actually I think the richest city in Germany, which I know that doesn't really helps the parties and clubs, but it does help with the shopping. So that's nice.
Adrian, thank you for your compliment on my wallpaper and mirror. You know what, that mirror I got, the place for mirrors is Hobby Lobby. They're always 50% off. Not always, but
always 50% off means that it's not 50% off.
It's not always 50% off, but when you get the 50% off one, it's the best price on mirrors. Mirrors are expensive.
I know, but I'm saying like if it's always 50% off, was it?
It's not always, Mark. It's like once a month.
Okay.
God.
I'm saying in general for pricing.
I'm gonna punch you.
ProfessorWalters.com. Anyway, Jocelyn, losing at midlife completely agrees with you. Coming home is much worse to adjust.
It is. I don't know why. It's just really hard that way. Yeah.
I was reading something, and
I moved it, but I moved it one thing.
You moved it up too. I was trying to read what Christian was trying to say.
We had a pretty magical morning, honestly. I'm a big morning person.
Yes.
Obviously, Christian, I am not, because I'm about to elbow my husband in the eye.
Hence why we're going to keep up the Wine and Whiskey Wednesday evening things at 8 p.m. Chicago time.
Such better mood in the evening than I am now. All right.
Okay, so Stefan Busche, excuse me. Have you ever met a waiter, stewardess, etc., who knew you from your videos?
Yes.
Yep.
All the time, actually. At least once a trip.
Oh, what's a trip? Yeah. More fans will come up. It was funny because for a long time I never had any flight attendants ever say hi or anything like that. It was only
some of them just know us because we're on their flights all the time.
Yeah, there's more than those because we've been flown with them multiple times. It's only been lately I've gotten a few people that are like, "Hey, I watch your videos," and that was like we were flying. I don't know, it's flying from somewhere in Atlanta. It was only like within the last year we started to get people saying, "Hey, I watch your videos," like the stewardess and stuff like that. So now we're getting some more. It's funny because like some stewards and waiter or some stewards or flight attendants, pursers. We've talked about them in our videos. Like, there's one guy. It was a Delta guy. What was his name? Roy Trey. I can't remember. Anyway, what?
Thomas?
No, not Thomas. The guy that was hilarious on the flight from Atlanta to.
Yes.
And this dude was awesome. He was hilarious and just really funny. Like. And so I posted a thing about how great he was to Delta, all kinds of stuff. And he wrote me on Facebook. He's like, "Yeah, I've been following your videos." I'm like, "I didn't say hi. I thought that was you. But I appreciate you being on our flight and stuff." I'm like, "That's really good." It's like, "You should have said hi." It's like, So it was kind of interesting. So we do get some sometimes, or we'll get the ones where people like look, and then look at the family, and they're like. Yeah, because it's those ones that are always funny. Because like at the airport, you have people like look at us. Because I always wear like Walter's World gear when we travel, and so they'll be like,
"You always wear it whether we travel or not."
True, I do wear a lot of Walter's World gear. My students actually make a joke. I wear two clothes: Walter's World or the College of Business T-shirts I have. It's like one or the other, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, let's see. Oh, we got a big jump again, so I'll do this. Yes, Lee, I agree. Curryverse is the best. Let's see. Trying to figure out what happened to Jake in Barcelona. See, it's so hard, like trying to follow these other conversations when they get bounced around so much. Sorry. Okay, so Colin asked, do you think you would ever do a live Q&A with your sons? I would do it probably with our patrons and members. because they're good people. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button, find out how, or you can go to patreon.com/walterism and learn more, because we do a couple of these live feeds just for that. For ones like this, it would depend. Like today's been good. Like we haven't had really any bad people on here, any bad stuff, so we probably could. If they would sit down is a whole other thing. So like those of you that were here earlier when Liam was like, I want your phone, I don't want to talk. It might be hard to get them to do that, but they will do like a yearly like travel Q&A where people send us questions. We ask the kids questions and they answer. So we have a bunch of those, maybe a bunch, like 5 or 6 of the kids throughout the year. So you can go back and see like Caleb at 6 or 7 years old, Liam at 4. One with Liam was just like 7, and so I got to do a new one for him. So we do those sometimes too. So, Devil of Heaven, have you done a Route 66 trip? Kind regards from Colin, Cork, Ireland. Man, I love south of there, really nice. So we have a top 10 stops on Route 66 and some road trip suggestions for Route 66. Those are older videos from like 6 or 7 years ago. The stuff is still good. The information is still good. My editing was not there yet, and my sound quality was not there yet. But we're looking at doing a new Route 66 tour this summer. So we make a new Route 66 videos and things like that. But we do have things that are out there if you want to do some research and stuff. Let's see. Okay, Sloan wants to know, can anyone explain to me the difference between being a Patreon member or a member via YouTube? Are there benefits to one versus the other? So when we do we do a Patreon and member only live feed, and both of them get to watch that together. The thing is like you'll see like Means to Travel, Mr. Means to Travel, or Jennifer Benzie. They're YouTube members, so they get like different badges and stuff on here. Whereas, but on the Patreon people, you don't get to see on the YouTube stuff because it's linked up differently. YouTube limit, like each of them have different things you can award people with. Like YouTube, we can't send you stuff. Whereas Patreon, at certain levels, we'll send beer koozies and stickers and stuff like that. And you can get a Skype call where we help you do things and things like that at different levels. Whereas on YouTube, it's kind of limited in what you can do. And also, in terms of the amount of donation that goes to, and this is not just for me, this is for anybody, Patreon takes less of the donation than YouTube does. YouTube takes a lot more than Patreon does. That's why a lot of like YouTubers like, hey, go to our Patreon, go to our Discord, and sign up there and donate there, because instead of losing like 35% of it or 45% of it, you're only losing like 10%. So there is that. So I hope that helps you understand. But they both have, very similar stuff, because I kind of look in the same way. I want to make sure everybody's getting very similar like payoffs for these kind of things. Like the videos that are only available for them, I set that up for that too. So we have those. So Thomas B, it's not Munich, the richest city. I thought Munich would be the richest city, but it was Hamburg, at least back in the day when I lived there. So there's that. Oh, Berliner donuts are also fantastic. Do you have a sweet tooth while traveling? Yes, I do. I have a sweet tooth, a fat tooth, a fried tooth, a boiled tooth, a Hoxa tooth. I got a tooth for everything when I travel. Yes, Devil Heaven, I do have a Route 66 video. I guess you posted that again after I said that. Yes, andiamo. Let's go. We're all going to go one of these days when this is opened up again. Let's see. What's once a month? Yeah. So, yeah, we have at least once a month a live feed for our patrons. We've been doing twice a month now, I think, or once every other week for our members and patrons. So we have for May, we've got one scheduled for May 9th and one for May 22nd for live feeds just for our group. So we have those things. We have a new, Grant Rennie, thank you very much for the super chat. That's really nice of you. And I see 3 of them just popped up, and I have no idea where they are. And Ralph, I can provide you tours in Helsinki. I'm a pro historian. Oh, that is awesome. I love my time. I love Finland. It was such a good time. I'd love to get back there. We had such a great nature place to go. It's not like if you're like a museum kind of person, there's a few museums, but like Finland is definitely much more of a go and enjoy nature kind of place. Getting to the lakelands in the north, in the mid-north, middle of the country and stuff like that. Lapland, going to the islands, really, really fantastic. And thank you very much, Ralph, for the super chat. There's a couple other ones I missed. There's Elliot. Okay, so there's that. So I gotta go this way. Ralph, got that. Let's see. Oh man, where'd it go? Yeah, I'm sorry because we get frozen, and I see there's some on here, and I'm searching for them through here. Da-da-da-da. Let's see.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah.
I made tea.
Yes, Alan, thank you for reminding people. Please click the like button. It does mean a lot if you click the like button up on there.
Really
It does because then it's more likely that Facebook will actually show the live feeds to other subscribers to Walter's World because not everybody gets the announcement, but they see that a lot of people like it. Then they kind of push it forward so we can get some more people to talk and more people on here, and that's really nice.
And Elliot says, "Do you guys like hot springs? Channel Hot Springs in Fairbanks, Alaska is amazing." Yeah, we do. And we had so much fun with the kids in Iceland at Hot Springs. And so we went to the Blue Lagoon. But what we enjoyed even more than that was one up. It's like on the way to Akureyri. It's east of Akureyri. And we had a great time at that one because it was a lot more locals, a lot less people are up in that area.
It's not as big, but it's like you get to enjoy it instead of like you and 500,000 other people.
Yeah.
So Means of Travel is talking about Delta's great about rewarding frequent flyers with upgrades, in my opinion, but you cannot get upgraded into Delta One on international flights. This is true. Mm-hmm. So honestly, if we'll have flights and there's 4 legs, at least 3 will be upgraded to Comfort Plus every single time. Okay, I found the super chats. Cool. Nick Peterson, thank you very much. I meant to answer this earlier when we had another jump. Thank you for posting here, Nick. Thank you for the super chat. Are there any differences between the Republic and Northern Ireland? Well, one, the currency. That's one of the things. They still drive on the left side of the road, so you don't really notice too much of a difference when you go there. Sometimes people will call the cities different. Like some people will say Derry, and some people will say Londonderry. And I'll let you just figure out which one says which. I think in general, what you'll see is in the more built-up areas, the kind of like construction, you'll see it in the construction in the buildings. In cities, you'll see that more than in the villages and smaller towns. Those kind of look more similar. You'll have that, but also in the kind of like the vibe. You really do feel it. It does feel much more British in Northern Ireland than it does like Ireland Irish. So you can feel some difference there. It's not a huge difference, but you do notice it. So I hope that helps, Nick. Def Leppard rules rock 2 times in a row. I've gotten it right. Thank you very much for the super chat. So, do you think we are on the right path to seeing domestic travel again soon? Well,
except in Illinois.
Yeah, I think we are on there in terms of domestic travel within states and within countries. I don't think you're going to see borders opening up, but I do see people getting to do a little bit more. And so you're going to have to do your research. Like, is the state I want to go to open? Are they open for business? Can I rent cars there? Can I still get the hotels? Because a lot of hotels have closed and they're not letting people come in. And so you really need to do your research and plan like, hey, what am I going to have? And that's another reason why we're looking at the RV stuff as well, because like, you know what, maybe we won't get to, there might not be hotels. There's a very few hotels. So people are going. That's what there. But it really is important that you kind of like follow. Like if you have your planned route or route, if you have your planned route on there, I would definitely see like what each state is in terms of what they're doing for things and do that. Okay. But I think we're on the right path. I still think we got some time left. I mean, I know that's one of the things why like we're not going to be doing the Saturday live feeds in May. We're just going to be doing the Wednesday night ones. But I know people are starting to think about different places to travel. And so I've got all these different locations. So I'm going to be trying to put out more videos. Like so I found some older fun ones for like Throwback Thursday stuff and trying to give people some different cities. Because, I have more videos on France and Paris and London and Germany and like big times. So I'm like, you know what? Let's spend May because people are just thinking of random places to go. Let's just throw out random cities. So we're going to do like El Salvador, Ecuador, small towns in Croatia, all kinds of different things. To like kind of give people more videos to watch and to give them ideas.
And to kind of give you like a depth of stuff because we're all like dreaming, right? And the big stuff is already out there. So
I'm always dreaming with you.
You're so full of crap.
No, I won't poopy today.
I love you. Oh, please don't tell me that. I don't need to know that ever.
Okay.
Our marriage doesn't have to be about that.
Okay.
So anywho, I love when you put out the little stuff. And also we're doing Throwback Thursdays because Mark found a little cache of several old videos. So we're gonna do that.
Yeah, so if you look at our top 10 Ottawa video that I put out on this last Thursday, that'll give you an idea of the time frame. You're like, oh look, Mark with no beard.
Yeah.
Mark with no ponytail.
The kid's really young.
Yeah, look, they were so sweet. Oh, seriously, at noon today, well, you got the trivia thing. We got to do that with Rob.
Mm-hmm.
But at noon, I have the driving in, 511 hates to driving in Iceland, but it's a little bit more than that. It's like more advice stuff too. And at the very end, where I have like where it goes in the corner and has like, oh, watch these other videos. There's a great outtake from Caleb when he was 8. It's awesome. It's hilarious. He'll hate it. He'll hate it. But he doesn't watch our videos. So
Mark Finley says both plans get access to the private Facebook group.
Oh, that's right.
Also worth every penny. So, our members and patrons, we have a Facebook. If you're a Facebook person, you guys can be on this little group. The thing is, like, Mark and I are on it, and we talk to people. But I swear to you, our members and patrons, so many of them have become really close friends. Like, they're Zooming with each other and all sorts of stuff.
And that's why when you look through here on the feed, you'll see all these conversation going between friends because we've really developed a lot. It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, it is. It's like it brings us a lot of joy. But so that group, like, they'll be talking amongst themselves and stuff like that. And then we'll jump in and give them, our experience, because often we've been to places that they're dreaming of. And so we want to kind of help them out with that.
So Colin McGinnis, Mark, yes. What is your favorite thing about traveling with the amazing, fantastic, special Jocelyn?
He didn't use any of his adjectives.
And vice versa. Honestly, I don't like traveling alone anymore. Whenever I go places now, I'm like, I would love to show that to Jocelyn and the kids. And so it's very much a different thing back in the day when I was just me traveling. Like, I'm like, go. I don't care if anybody's with me. I'm going to meet people. I'll be fine. But now it's like, this would be really cool to show them. So I just love having them there because it's like, I want to experience my life with them because they are my life. Well, she's my life. Now, her idea might be different.
Well,
no pressure.
Mark and I are like yin and yang. He supports me in the places where I am weak in everything. And I'd like to think I do the same for him, that we push each other but we also rely on each other. So it's like a very symbiotic sort of relationship, especially when we travel. And when I'm without him, it's like my right arm's gone. I mean, I can still do things, but I'm doing them left-handed and I'm a right-handed person. It's just, but I love that he pushes me in certain areas and I push him in certain areas, and he also pulls me back when I need it and I pull him back when he needs it, because we both are, we both have pretty strong personalities. So we sometimes need somebody to say, hey, you need to shut it, or you need to just take a step back and take a little nap. So
you want to look up the name of the place in northern Iceland where we went, because I don't have my phone to look it up.
Yes. What was that one?
I'm going.
Airline prices.
Yeah, that's what I was going to answer, because I
wanted to make sure you got it. I love you.
So Mallory Gonzalez asks, hey, from New York City. Hello. I hope you're doing well. As good as can be expected right now. Do you think airline prices will go up exponentially after all this is over, beyond what they were before pre-COVID? I think what you'll see is, to inspire people to get back on planes, we're going to have low prices for a little while. But as airlines fold and airline industry consolidates, that means when this is over, I feel that since there'll be less competition and less offerings for people and less flights, you're going to see prices go up. It's going to be more expensive to get on that plane. Now, when you get to places, they're going to have to inspire people to shop there and eat there. So maybe some of these really overpriced tourist places might readjust their things. But it's really interesting to see, because you have the whole business economics side of things. Like, look, we've lost all this money for 2 months. We got to make it up. So we raise prices to kind of make it up that way. But when you raise the prices, how many people do you scare off? Especially when all these people have already lost their jobs and aren't spending money anyway. It's like, it's a vicious circle. So you got to find a good balance. But I think for longer term, yes, long and medium term prices will go up. But short term, I think they will go down on flights. Lincoln Abraham, what are your thoughts on Mexico City? I should have been there next week for VidCon Mexico, but that's not happening. So I have not been. My dad liked it there. He recommended we go there. He used to work in Mexico for a number of years. Let's see. Oh, Mache Tessier, where'd you go? need to get out and work out before the temps rise. I completely understand. Luckily, it's still gray and foggy and bleh outside here. So we have that.
Okay, so I think that this is the right one. Landmannalaugar, Land. You type it for the Iceland whatever thingy, the hot pots. So can you type this? Landman, 2 N's. Laugar. Okay, so there you go. Oh.
Okay, Idaho Solar, are you going to do a video on how to select an African safari outfitter? Right now, I'm actually putting together the video on what to know before you go on a safari, so I will actually talk about that in the video. It's a 24-minute long video, so it's taken me a while to get that ready. We used Shadows of Africa. Their U.S. people they gave you tons of information. If you want a personalized kind of thing, it wasn't super personal. Like, it's personalized. Like, they have so much stuff. I'm like, just deliver it a little bit better. But their guides are fantastic. The itineraries they have are fantastic. The hotels they were fantastic.
When we were there, where the lack of personalization was before we went.
Because sometimes you're like, oh wait, when do I need to apply for these things? Like, oh, it's in the 400 pages of stuff we sent you. I'm like, sometimes you just need to give people an executive summary so they know the most important things to do.
Marie says, Marie McInnes, how did Iceland live up to your expectations?
Blew them away.
Wants us to meet up there, but I'm not sure. So we absolutely loved it. We did the big circle, and we went east, and we went through the East Fjords, and all the Icelandic people we met, and we said we were going through the East Fjords. They're like, I've never been there. And it was wild and really wild, but we just had the best time. Iceland is on top of the list for our kids. Iceland and Costa Rica are 2 of the kids' favorites. So good morning, Lori. I see you waking up now.
Elliot says it's gray and foggy in San Francisco too, but only occasionally, right?
Musings at Midlife needs the Facebook group.
All right. Okay. I'll get that to them. So music. Okay. If you are a member, if you're on Patreon, you can go on our Patreon posts. And if you're a member on our YouTube, you go to the community tab on our YouTube one, and you look for the post just for members, and there'll be a link there, and you can go there and click on that, and that'll help you out.
Oh shoot, are the gals leaving?
Yeah.
Oh, see you later. Someone asked if we think that train travel will become more prevalent over air travel because of COVID.
I think what you're going to see is for domestic travel, yes, like within Europe, I think people are going to be traveling more domestically, so therefore they will be taking the trains. But I think longer term, if I think of the trains I've been on in some places, I'm not thinking those are super clean. And I think the cleanliness will actually scare people off.
I have a feeling that that's going to change too. Yeah. I think that things are going to have to be more clean, or it's not going to. And
that's one of the things. If what comes out of this is everyone's washing their hands more, think how many people are not going to get sick just by washing their hands more. And then we're all trying to be a little bit cleaner and more respectful of things. I mean, that could be like you're always trying to find some heroes in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So. Sorry if I already missed an Iceland answer.
Can you? I need my phone from you.
Okay. Did someone say Safari Serengeti? Yes, we.
Yes, that's where we're going to be talking about. So there's that. Let's see. Michael Mond, you do not have to be on the Facebook group. It's okay. Don't fall back into the trap. Okay, we will still tell you everything what we've been up to in our group, our private YouTube sessions. Okay, let's see, Jimmy. We already answered that question. We talked for like 10 minutes on that, buddy. So here we have thought about Svalbard. We have not gotten a chance to get up there. That's farther down the list in terms of place we want to go. It's not in the top 20, so it's a little bit farther off. And we froze. So we'll scroll up here for a bit. And so you pick out some here to chat with. Here you go.
Well, I can't. Grant, did you get that? Grant Rennie, thank you for the super chat. You did? You got that? Okay. Where did you buy that t-shirt? Mirko, Mark's t-shirt is available on waltersworld.store. And I designed that, so thank you if you like it. Okay, hang on. Yes, that in our shop. Okay, well now we're at a place where I read all of these.
So I'm trying to find
It's
something.
okay. You guys are all talking amongst yourselves. Jenilyn, hello in Malaysia. Very cool. All right. In your opinion, how will the travel industry be affected long term? Manav. So I think that I think it will long term it will bounce back. Things will come back to what they are. But I do see people being cleaner, just generally speaking. Like, you know, when you go into the bathroom in the airport and people walk out without washing your hands, I think those people are going to get shamed. I have mentally shamed them, and I have refrained from doing it out loud. But I find that to be really disgusting when you go in a bathroom and you don't wash your hands afterward. I find things like that changing long term. But as far as, you know, people going, I think it'll take some time to get there, but I think that it'll happen. So, all right. Jasleen says, is it safe to visit Honduras? So Honduras has a lot of issues. We have friends who did mission work there, and they were told you can't stay. We won't allow you to stay. But they were in the interior. Roatan, however, is an island that is part of Honduras, and it's pretty darn safe. So if you're going to go to Honduras, that might be the place to start. And always those kinds of things change over time. So, you know, just keep an eye on it. It's like there are places in the world we want to go, and, you know, we're not comfortable doing that at the moment. So we just kind of watch them and wait for things to change, because they usually do. So, all right. All righty.
Oh, well, okay. Solving the Enigma. Hey, in Rhode Island. Good to see you. Eric and Julie lost connection for a little bit. We are let down. We were let down by the food in Destin, Florida. We go back. There's a city to recommend for foodies. So yeah, Destin is very much a condo and timeshare community. You need to go farther down the coast, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's, you know, Florida has some really great stuff. Destin isn't my favorite place in Florida. So maybe I don't know. St. Augustine's got some cool stuff too. So anyway.
Al Simpson, thank you for doing these Saturday morning chats. They made an amazing difference in my mental happiness. Virtual high five. I'm glad we can help out.
Thanks,
Don't
dude.
forget we have the Wednesday ones at 8 p.m. So you can pop on that one as well.
MGA, I hope you do subscribe. You were Mark's. You were one of Mark's pillars when he did that 16-hour marathon marketing class. So that would be really cool to have you around like that. So.
Hi, Lori Sims. Hope you're doing well.
Mr. Blonde says, when did you realize you wanted to be a teacher?
When I was in college, I remember having a discussion with myself in the graduate library, going, do I want to stay in business or do I want to go into education? And I kind of thought about it. I thought I had a better chance to travel more with business, so I stayed in business. And now I teach business, so I got to do both. So it's kind of nice. Let's see.
And, you know, you have this business.
True.
Hang on.
Oh, we've gone through those. That's what I'm trying to see. We're still stuck at that one there. Okay, I have to close this out because, all right, our feed is frozen. All right, repop it out.
Sorry. What city would you retire in? D asks. So Paris would be one place that I would live. My idea for retirement, and I've said this before, is I want to have an apartment in many places, like just a small little flat, maybe even efficiency. Like I want one in Nicaragua, I want one in Paris, I want one in Greece, probably Rwanda. I mean, I'm just picking like one.
She wants to be a
everywhere
slumlord all over the world. That's what it is.
No, we live in them.
I understand.
I mean, and then we rent them out while we're not there, through whatever means necessary, like however we whatever company we find to do that.
All right, I got this working here.
Jennifer Benzie, thank you for the super chat. I hope your daughter is doing well.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
All right. Was that late?
Do you find jet lag beginning? Okay. Do you find jet lag to be better or worse when you gain time or lose time when you land to your destination?
Going ahead in time is easier for me than going back in time, just generally speaking. And thank you for the super chat, Def Leopard rules rock. Oh, great. Now I can't say it right. Mr. Blunt says, what is the best place in Rwanda for travel? All of it. There was nothing in Rwanda that we didn't enjoy. Musanze was like my favorite town area. We went up to the Guerrilla Guardians village, and that was a really neat place. It was people who used to poach gorillas, and they're not doing that anymore, and instead they're educating people on the gorillas and what and cultural life, like village life and things like that, and historically how it was, because certainly a lot of things have changed, but it was really cool. So anywho,
I just want to say thank you to Mark Finley for hooking us up with all the keeping the bad guys away and stuff like that. I always appreciate it.
And I've seen too that Michael Mann is doing that, and Mr. Means to Travel is doing it. So yes. All of you who moderate for us, we appreciate it. But I think everyone else appreciates it too, because nobody has to deal with the cruddy people out there. So
Jennifer Benzie, do you think the lockdown will help people?
I did not.
So Jennifer asked, do you think the lockdown will make people appreciate other people more, and will it make folk kinder or meaner? We can hope
it makes people better.
That's one thing I really hope for. I think it will be different. I think people will, at least, because remember, people will eventually go back. Everything goes back to the mean. But at least for a little while, I think people will appreciate the little things and those people that have done like sacrifice for this to happen, and it'll change our perspectives on a lot of stuff. I think that's a big thing. You're going to see a change. I think you're going to see a lot of frustration, especially with a lot of people having lost their jobs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very interesting time the next few months. So there's that. Let's see. All
right. So how did you find a job where you knew you would be able to travel a lot?
When I looked at it, because I didn't think about being a professor for years, I was looking at like what jobs do tend to travel. Because my dad works abroad a lot, or worked abroad. He's retired now, but like he worked in Mexico and Korea forever. And I'm like, okay, so business, that was my kind of like figuring how I can get in that way. And so you look for companies that do a lot of international business and things like that. And you can ask them when you're applying for jobs, is there travel with this? Because some don't have it, especially now that everything's virtual. And you're going to see a lot less business travel, because people are going to see, we can just do this Zoom call and do it here instead of flying the $10,000 business flight to wherever. We'll just have the free Zoom call and do that. Though I will say I've been on a lot of Zoom calls for work, and it is not the same. You are not getting the same interaction. You're not getting... People aren't like, because when you're in normal meetings, you can kind of see people's body language, and I know you can see us here, but you can't see everything. And it's just like the atmosphere, stuff like that. Like, what, maybe we need to talk about this more. And then it's just that weird thing. It's like just knowing that you're looking at yourself in a picture instead of just talking. You're already losing some of your focus because you see yourself.
And also, when you're in a Zoom call, and people, it's hard with the mics and stuff, and who it's picking up and whatever. That sometimes is really difficult. Mache asks, Lori, how's your son doing? I'd like to second that question. So Lori, if you can let us know,
well, she wants to.
If you're comfortable letting us know, please do. And I'm not sure that Lori, you're in the in the Facebook group. Why do I feel like you're not?
I don't know.
But yeah, it would be great if you could tell us maybe that.
Yeah. Way. So Jimmy UK, do you miss your students? I do. Teaching without my students sucks. I know I can get the same. You get the same information out when you do an online class, but it's not the same because having your students there, you can understand, you can see what they're getting, what they're not getting. You get the questions because like that's another thing with Zoom and these live stuff is students don't ask questions. Like they already don't now, they really don't because now everyone will see them zoomed up in there. Because it's one thing if you're in the back of the class and raise your hand because most people don't turn around, but now when it's just you and your face is the whole thing there, that's where people are like, I feel uncomfortable. So I really feel that students are missing out. I know like next semester we're supposed to go back to face-to-face class, and I actually have a face-to-face class and an online version of that class, and I'm going to do a little study seeing how it goes to compare the like how it went and the grades and stuff like that because it's just not the same without the students there.
Mario Dabdoob, when do you think theme parks will reopen? I think that theme parks are going to be some of the last things to reopen.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they had a lot of restrictions. Like I was reading some places with 10 to 15% of the capacity because you have to have all the space. Because think about the lines, 3 hours in line with the same people going back and forth.
I see that changing dramatically, actually, for a little while. But I don't know.
It is a tough call. Mauricio, Jocelyn's favorite city in the U.S. would be
Savannah, Georgia.
And I'm a big fan of New Orleans and New York.
So how do you afford to travel all over the world? We actually have a video on that, King Fox. We prioritize our money very carefully. We don't do the things that a lot of other people have. Like we haven't had cable in ever. Like it came free with our apartment in Portugal a decade ago.
That's the last time we had it.
We don't eat out a lot. We just prioritize those things, but also Mark has an everyday sort of job that allows us to have more time off. And that's a big part of it. It's not just the afford it. And also we don't do it fancy. We very rarely stay, in really nice hotels or things like that. We're careful about things like that. So, all right.
Yes, I'm with Lori. I'd like to retire to Italy at least 6 months out of the year too.
That would be nice. I could do that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad her son's okay and recouping. Thanks for asking. I'm glad.
Oh, good,
Thank
Lori.
goodness.
I'm glad to hear that.
We're really glad to hear that.
Yay.
Yeah, Carmen Monser, Zoom is absolutely not the same. I'm Zoom fatigued. I think we all are. I mean, have you noticed? Like, there's articles now talking about Zoom meetings really suck a lot out of you. It's like they're just brutal. Because you can't go, I got something else to do and like hop off. Well, where else are you going to go? The other room.
What countries, MGH says, what countries do you plan on visiting in Africa in the near future? Unfortunately, safety is a big issue with some that I'd like to visit. We're with you. So I really want to go to Ethiopia. That's high on my list right now, and it has been for a couple, 3 years. Ethiopia, South Africa. One of our dear friends who is actually Swedish has just moved to South Africa. So we're going to go. We're going to do that. Yeah,
another one. We thought about doing that for spring break next year, but now everything's up in the air.
We want to go back to Rwanda. The kids have been literally asking since like the day we left Rwanda.
Yeah, when we were leaving, can we just go back now?
So we'll go back to Rwanda too. I don't know why, but Malawi has always been on my list of places to experience. And maybe it's because my old boss used to work there. He was in the Peace Corps there. But there are just so many places. And Africa is so varied. We need to get to West Africa too.
We had friends that lived there for a long time,
we had friends that lived in Ghana for quite a while, and I would love to go there. Actually, I'd love to go with them, that we got like a really good understanding of things there. That's a big thing for me. So
one person asked, do you think cruise ships are done forever? I do not. I think they will come back because there's such an appealing thing to a lot of people. I mean, there's been a lot of outbreaks on cruise ships before, and cruise ships have come back. It will take time, but I do think they will come back for sure. Let's see. Bye, Carmen. Hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, Carmen, have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Namibia is also safe. Tanzania I felt pretty darn comfortable in Tanzania. So.
Hey, Ted in DC, we'll be on for a few more minutes so we can so we can get your questions. So
So
think.
Yes, Egypt. So we have tried to get to Egypt several times. It's like God is saying you're not allowed to go. I mean,
Because every time we try,
there is something happens every time that we're not able to get there, and it's really frustrating, especially for Mark, because that's one of his top places to go. So there's that.
So I just want everybody to know. So we will be premiering our Iceland Love and Hates of Driving at noon in about half an hour. Also over at TripX DC, they're going to be at noon. They're having a quiz thing, so you can trivia things, so you can be on that too.
I think
if you want to go check it out, that'll be fun. So we'll be doing a lot of things at the same time. So there's some big things coming up here for today. We'll be back on Wednesday night for our Wednesday Wine and Whiskey. I just want to let people know that. Remember, you can still pick up your Pause to the World shirts are the fun ones up there. Go to pausetotheworld.com. If it can help out your organization or yourself, you can do the shirts too. It's $10 you earn for every single unit sold, if it's a shirt or pants or whatever. So I just want to get that out there before we go. I want to say thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to all our members, all of our patrons, everybody. Thank you to Mark and Michael and everybody and Means to Travel.
Thank you all.
Everybody's been awesome today. I just want to make sure I get it out of the way because one time I forgot to say it, and I want to make sure I'm saying thank you to everybody.
I want to answer a couple questions on Africa. Musings at Midlife. Is there a lot of prep for Rwanda, like shots needed? We did not. Rwanda did not require any shots. However, Tanzania did. The biggest prep thing for East Africa for us was we sprayed all of our clothes with permethrin because the tsetse flies are really bad. And I did even still after that, I got bit once. And they were painful. There was one right under that. Where did it go?
Jumped.
It was from Elliot, and it was something else about, it was about the Maasai people in Tanzania, and if we enjoyed them. We did. We spent couple 3 hours in a village, and we went and saw their school, and it was really fun. The women were just awesome. I had so much fun with them. I danced with them, and one of the elder women afterward, she grabbed me and hugged me, and in my ear said "poa." Pao? No, poa. Poa.
Oh, it's cool.
And it's like slang for cool in Swahili. And I was like, that like made my day. It like kind of weighed my year. But I had a good time with those women, and that was cool. But I really loved also, we spent time with the Datoga and Hadzabe tribes. And the Datoga, it was really special because they had a little girl in the village, and she came up and she held our kids' hands and never let go. I mean, it was... She's
like dragged on. No, you need to do this now. You need to do this.
I just wanted to squeeze her. She was the cutest, sweetest little thing, and just smiled the whole entire time. We had awesome experience with the people in Tanzania. It was really cool.
So, Carlos, I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, and that your dad sent you the picture. That's crazy. But I'm sorry you couldn't be there. It is really tough. But you did the right thing because you're still working. That was a good thing that you did. Let's see. Mirko's in a situation a lot of people are. He's in one town. His girlfriend's in another town. They haven't seen each other for over a month. These are tough.
We did that.
We did the year away from each other stuff. It's tough.
Across an ocean. You wouldn't believe how amazing it was, though. Like, you will become closer in a whole different way. Yep.
All
right, kids. It's time. We are gonna head out so we can do our thing, and then and we're gonna get on Rob's thing on Trip Hacks DC. So tune into that in half an hour.
Yeah, and if you want to see other live, we'll be back on Wednesday, but we'll be on Means to Travel has a live feed tomorrow. I think, is it 11 or noon? Quarantine on Sunday. So Sunday morning, you have that. Monday night, you've got Gallivanting Gals. And then I'm sure someone has Tuesday. We'll be back on Wednesday. There's all kinds of live feeds to chat and keep us all socialized during these socializing, toughing times. Be social times. So...
Yes, so we enjoy this, and thank you all for being part of this, and bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for everything. We'll see you next time, everybody.